deep. I'm pretty
Does
deep in it.
anyone remember what happened last time? Does anyone want to recap?
I did it last time.
DDS, do the recap.
Yeah, there we go. Dark, do you remember?
I'm trying to think where we started last time.
You started
In camp.
Yeah.
So
We were at
started
the
here,
outpost.
We decided to scout the adjacent tiles because that seemed like a good idea. And so we scouted one way, and it was full of a cave of psychic crystals, which all acted like a hive mind. And it led down even deeper even deeper into the Underdark, into areas full of mind-messing things, which we didn't really feel like going with. So we decided to scout another direction, where we found more of these crystals and more stuff than that. We ended up being approached by I think the Darrow, I believe, originally.
Yeah.
Yep.
A Darrow geologist or something like that. Those regards. Look on that.
Basically.
Trying to remember. I can't actually remember the details that well of the conversation. How it kind of went through though, kind of the issue. Piece together.
Maybe one of your companions can.
Sure. We spoke to the Darrow, and he said that there's some crazy demonic stuff happening to the poor crystal brain. So what we did was we agreed to help him because he was a member of a society I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. But basically good guys all round. So we were like, sure, we'll go. The Society of Brilliance, yes. Sure, we'll go and help you, but can you tell us some more information about the surrounding areas? So he did, including all sorts of horrible stuff like slime brain slavers. And we went down into the crystal caverns to try and help the crystals, or the brain, which is basically the cave, get rid of this demonic influence. We went down there, started doing some lesser restorations on some crystals, and then we're... Sorry?
You used so many of those up, you used like 6 of them something.
Yeah, so many. But it was good because we were attacked by a Lilith thing. What was it? I can't even remember.
My grandfather Richard and my
It was big and somewhat dangerous. However, it was all by itself because you managed to get rid of all its magical crystals.
Yeah, we
Yes.
dumped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was a Neolith.
Neolith, that was it. So, yeah, we fought that. And it was going to use the crystals, but because I had saved the crystals from the corruption, we didn't have to deal with any of that shit, which was amazing. Then we... I believe we carried on to basically a zombie like a cave filled with corrupted crystals. Maybe I'm getting this the wrong way around, but there was like a cave of corrupted crystals, and in the center was a pool of like acid and worm zombies, and many worm zombies and normal zombies, and out popped a mind flayer zombie, which was terrifying. There was a force wall where Riordan and Gesh were cut off from the rest of the party. Cyrilla nuked all of the normal zombies, and we finished off the other mind flayer. And instead of carrying on, we were like, fuck this, let's leave.
Yeah.
So we hastily left, to which we said, let's get out of here. Travelled further southeast towards towards the road, yeah. We jumped onto the road, and we travelled really well until we got past the Neverlight Grove, where we happened to stumble upon a Swift Neblin, I believe, who was like Oh my god, everybody's gonna die. One of you, whichever one's nicest, come into this little place with me. And we were like, what? And then the one and only Jubilex showed up.
The Demon Lord himself.
The Demon
All
Lord
of his
himself.
Disgustance.
It was horrifying. We ran and were promptly covered in demon smoke. I think.
Decided to charge right through us in smoke form.
Yep, because he couldn't be bothered with actually fighting us because we're that puny to him.
And he was pretending to run away to some other destination, maybe the Neverite Globe, Neverite Grove.
Yes. So we were like, alright, great.
Inflicts us all with madness.
We are all inflicted with indefinite madnesses.
Except Riordan, who's already insane from Jubilix.
Everyone is insane now. No one is free of insanity anymore.
And now I think it's now time we continue to Mantol-Derith.
Yeah, we're all heading to Mantol-Derith.
Mantol-Derith, more like mental hospital, am I right?
Yep.
Oh, you had a chance to go to one at one point, but
Maybe we can find it again.
Yeah, maybe it's open again.
Yeah, I mean, it was near, what was it? It was near Blydenstone, wasn't it? We're kind of close to that. Sure, we can find him again.
good man, you know. Irregardless,
To Mantol-Derith.
Yes.
you wish to travel on to Mantol-Derith. How do your characters feel moving on? You know, having seen another demon lord, perhaps luckily being puny enough not to be bothered. I mean, it was a pretty magnificent sight. All of you would probably think, but also going to Mantol-Derith. What's the mood like? Running? How's the travel going?
Well, if I start with Gash, after the encounter, he would. I mean, up until now, he was really optimistic, excited, telling people that he would go save the world and everyone would be legendary heroes because obviously that's his destiny and all. But now he sort of met a demon lord, faced him with whatever he could really conjure up, the strongest magic yet available, and got ignored completely. And also Finger Muncher got eaten, presumably. Or something worse. Maybe he ate himself or something. So there's a bit of doubt that whatever he might find at the library is actually going to be enough. Because he doesn't only intend to fight one demon lord, which was already way above his level of power, but all of them somehow. So whatever is in the library better be absolutely amazing or this is not going to work. And if this isn't going to work, then, well, that would be sad times indeed, because Gash is sort of banking a lot on this. A lot of his self-worth, at least. So he'll be a lot quieter as we travel on, sort of introspective, without Finger Muncher for a little bit, as he thinks about the consequences. But he'll resummon him eventually. He isn't real after all.
Well, for Jordan, since he's been kidnapped in the first place, he's been kind of faced with things that have been way beyond his ken, and so that he has had to mature really quickly, and perhaps in ways that have kind of affected him madness-wise. And at this point, he felt like he had some sort of grasp on things, but now, after facing something that has just completely upped the bar of some like a place where he could probably never reach, he feels defeated again, as if like this place just keeps beating down upon him, and it doesn't feel like there's going to be any reprieve. He's definitely downtrodden, that's for sure. He wouldn't be his usual cheery self, I suppose.
I think Cirilla is sort of confused about how Jubilix treated the group in the tunnels. Just walking past them and just ignoring the whole caravan is a bit weird for, you know, the consumer, but she's trying not to dwell on it too much. Obviously, it being kind of terrifying and all, having faced a demon lord in a tunnel where they could not escape him. And really looking forward isn't that much greater for her. Mantol-Derith isn't exactly her spa destination, and really nothing further from that seems like it's gonna be anywhere near pleasant, because it seems they're gonna have to go into the worm writhings, and nothing good is gonna come from. So yeah. She's struggling as well.
Well, Liam didn't have any illusions coming down here again. We're here to do a job, and it is a dirty one. And he is more of a, you know, gritty fighter man at this point. Than, you know, he doesn't dream of spas. He's here to do a job, and you know, his hope is probably that these demon lords sort of kill each other. That seems really the best option, and hopefully the group is so beneath them that we can actually reach this library and do whatever needs to be done to stop all of this. Because if we don't, well, then at that point, at least we tried, and it is up to the gods themselves to save the world, because we have certainly done all we could. But he's determined to do what he can here. Fighting them head on seems like a bad idea. So instead, we will have to, you know, find something else. And Gesh has promised a lot of things about this library. So Liam would probably cling to that hope. That's where we'll find a solution to this problem. And personally, he has become very picky with his food recently, because he has realized that, you know, you are what you eat, really. And since Liam is amazing, he can't eat this shit. So he's very picky with the food currently. We'll see. We'll see how that how that like develops.
You'll fucking eat what I give you, damn it.
I most certainly will not. I'm not eating your damn slop. I demand Hero's Feast over here.
I don't have that yet. Actually, I do. Wait,
Yeah,
I think I do.
I can see Roland's life.
Liam has heard, you know, Cirilla brag about all the amazing shit, so he will demand a
no.
Hero's Feast.
6th level, damn.
6th level. Well, he, you know.
In a couple of levels, man.
He's holding out.
Yeah, he's holding out for that. So Liam is not going to eat for a few months.
Few months.
I see Roland's practice at cooking, and his like carrying of spices around.
Or if Liam eats, you don't see him eat. Maybe because he's so embarrassed with eating this shit. Because if he eats shit, that means he is shit, and he isn't. He knows that. He's amazing. So he'll have to secretly eat, so the others don't see him eat, so they don't think he's shit. This is the logic.
He just lives on sunlight and.
Yeah, and fucking awesome. That's what it lives on.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Until that Hero Feast becomes castable, because then, you know, now we're talking.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah,
something worthy of finally.
Those slots, just Hero's Feasting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people with you also seem to eat a lot. The supplies seem a lot less than they were before. Encounter, you know, everyone's just kind of hungry all the time. It's a need for food.
It'd be great when we run into more demon lords and we'll just stack on, you know, we'll have 5, 6 indefinite madnesses all just.
Let's just get silly. We have
Yes.
for our main group. Rolling for all of this though. Might as well finish this here. As well, coming down here, he knew how bad it was going to be coming back down here. He'd gone down once. We'd gotten hit around and gone back up to the surface again, and now we've come down a second time. And Ronna's entire time has been itchy and just wanting to get to Mantol-Derith and just trying to figure out what's going on more and more. Well, sure, the demons might be invading. All of this might go on. We might have just faced Jubilex face to face. But he can't focus on it that well right now. His mind keeps drifting either away or into this kind of obsessive pacing when the others are like asleep. And like he's got like 4 extra hours where he's like obsessively pacing and looking around the camp, trying to find something to fill his time, because right now all he really has in his mind is getting to Mantol-Derith and succeeding at his personal goal more than anything else. So stopping the Demon Lords, I mean, that needs to be done, but they're just because they're an inconvenience to what he wants. The madness has certainly seeped in. His priorities are not quite straight anymore.
Mhm. The Centaur mercenaries know the way, though they're less sure of it from here than from the surface. It's pretty obvious. They will mention, or it'll be obvious, that the Centaur have a path not too far away that leads to the surface from Mantol-Derith, but that even is reserved for the Centaur. These people have not been allowed to know that way. They do wish, however, that they had known, because that would have been much easier. Moving forward, you find that the path ahead of you is very empty. There's little in it at all, really. Nothing.
Imagining Jubet's consumed all of it.
Maybe. It's hard to know. There is the occasional slime dripping from the ceiling and popping out, but nothing in a concentration that makes it really dangerous for as you travel for more days. Furthering out another 6 days. Well, only 3 actually.
Yeah, isn't the road fast to travel?
Yeah, much faster. As you travel further, taking off a side cave. The mercenaries speaking. You probably had conversations at this point, though most of you people keep to themselves. The Centaurium are certainly not shy about talking. They rather think that you're all, great mercenaries doing this stuff.
Well,
I mean, you're certainly effective, and you're good at doing what you do, and that's something they respect. There is 2, or rather, at least 2, ways that they know of into the city. They know of a third one, but they do not have the password to it. They will say that they know the Centaurium has their own way into Derith. However, that is not the one you'll be using. Instead, you'll be using effectively the front door. So the most public access, though. Public to those who know the word to not be disintegrated, of course. Beyond that, they know that there's another way that has sea access to the waterfront. It is from where the Dwergar mostly arrive. They will also warn you that in Mantol-Derith there is very few but very strict rules. The city of Mantol-Derith, if it is a city really, it's really more of a trading post. Given that there are not really more than a few hundred people in there, is run by the leaders together in a council of the 4 enclaves. There's the Mortal or the Surfacer Enclave, which is currently only Centaurium. There is the Dwergar Enclave, there's the Swafneblin Enclave, and there's the Drow Enclave. These 4 rule together and take common responsibility for upholding the rules of the place. The rules, well, they are really rather simple. You cannot disguise anything as something it is not. It is simply not allowed. You cannot use magic near or when speaking to other people, nor are you allowed to magically enhance yourself or somehow affect others with your magic when you do trading deals. And lastly, stealing or looting is also punishable. The punishment for anything like this is usually being tied up in chains and lowered into the to the dark lake. The area here is very deep and very steep, and such lowering people just into the blackness until the chain runs out and you let go, and then whatever is down there gets to have them.
Wonderful. Sounds great.
Cannot disguise anything. I suppose that would include self.
Is
Yeah.
wanton murder in the street allowed? Because if we step in, it's like, oh, that's Sun Elves, killed them.
Wanton murder is not allowed. Generally, you visit there either as VIPs, basically guests, allowed in the markets, or you go there as part of one of the sort of the enclaves. Now you will be going there as guests, meaning that you're allowed in the marketplaces. Don't piss off the enclaves enough that they want to murder you.
Noted.
We're elves, and one of the enclaves is drow. Isn't that enough for them normally?
Well, hopefully you're very wealthy elves.
Well, just take all the money on him.
Generally, this is a place of business more than anything. The place is not ruled by the drow alone. It is ruled by the council of all four. And they all attempt to foster the greatest sort of ability to earn money possible. That's what this place is about. It's about trade and any illicit goods. There's no rules for what you can and cannot trade, really. So many things move through here from one society into the other, in societies that really don't speak to one another that often. The caravan will stay outside because Mantol-Derith will probably not appreciate the whole caravan coming in. You know, all the wagons and such. I will copy you. Do you want Finger Muncher to come with us? Where is he?
Don't lose us, no.
Connections. Sure. I'll grab you. Take you to a new.
Also, I'm going to need to borrow a bit of money from someone. Because I have like 4 gold and resummoning Finger Muncher costs 120.
I'll give you 120.
Okay. Finger Muncher will appreciate it, I'm sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so now you're supporting his dark packs.
Yes. Well, you know,
He supports my pact, I support his.
Finger Muncher kept me alive as much as it has affected me horribly. So 120 you said, right? Sheep?
I believe it's 120.
Okay.
Let me look it up. It's not much, but it's more than I have because I've got
No, that's
nothing.
fine. Take 120 for it. Keep whatever gold you've left. I'll give you the 120.
You travel through basically a high rise close to the water. You can almost see it from here through some caves until what seems to be just a broken like rock slide. One of the centauri moves up, sort of coughs a bit, and clearly like tries to calm down before uttering the word Imnyat.
What does that
which
mean?
causes the well. Do you speak? Swift Neplin?
I'm just going to ask this in Tarim.
Oh, he shrugs. Says, "I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I hope my pronunciation was good enough, though. From the look of it, I'm still here."
that
As
is a good sign.
basically the rocks sort of move out of the way, and you can sort of hear a hum as some powerful magical trap perhaps is deactivated.
All right.
He'll nod and say that most doors here have this sort of protection.
Why is the password for a primarily drow outpost in Swerve Neblin?
It is not primarily drow. It is as Swerve Neplin as it is drow. Why? I don't know.
How many people speak Swift Neblin?
Not me. Do we have a spell?
It is a dialect of under, like of like a gnome, which is dialect of Undercommon. Yeah, but he'll sort of gesture for you to continue, saying that down this path, there's two ways. One takes you through to the actual city. The other takes you to a small lookout post to the south, over the water. Generally, it's a fine place to camp, and the caravan might wish to stay there if you're going in.
Sounds reasonable.
He knows the passwords to both of these locations,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
of which he seems pretty proud. Really, it's a good job to have. You don't get to be killed very easily. You know that.
It's good for
Yeah,
him.
it'd be a shame if he had been dead. Yeah, beyond that, it's your command, really.
Well,
All right.
charge.
Yeah.
We do have a potential contact in the city, I believe.
Yeah, we do.
The drow dude who we let go.
We also have this interim representative.
Oh, the guard, the treacherous guard.
Yeah, the guard who was with like one of the priestesses or whatever, where we're
Yep.
like, they apologize, so just leave.
I mean, he was the one who let us out in the beginning. So.
Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah,
So
should be
he's
maybe
our original benefactor, and he has not betrayed us since. So.
And you know, he
as
said
long.
he'd be coming here, and we'd be able to discuss it, to meet with him again.
Yeah. So as long as he's good and keeps his word and is good to us, I don't see why we shouldn't
I mean,
follow him.
he's just in it for the long con. He's a drow.
I mean, probably, but when he cons us, he will die the most horrible and gruesome death imaginable because no one crosses us.
Although getting in character for Gesh, it would be racist to say that all drow are backstabbing. So maybe.
No,
he's
we're not
one of
saying all
those.
drow, we're saying him.
Yeah, I know. But I just said he's a drow.
And most of them.
Yeah, I mean, and that guy too.
Mm-hmm. I could name all of them, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to. It would take forever.
I could name like 10 million drow, but it wouldn't be all of them. So I'm not being racist, right? I'm just saying that these 10 million individuals
all
are
the
all
ones I've
racist
seen.
murderers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can travel south if you so wish.
I think we should park our caravan in the nice spot overlooking the water and then head into the city.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get killed horribly.
But we shouldn't linger too long because this is not our destination after all.
Moving south, here you see a small bit of dust lingering as one of this entire will note that that is one way in which you can sometimes find these entrances. The dust of others who found them and didn't know the password or pronounced it wrong.
Ooh, people dust.
It will turn you to dust if you. It's not even sort of the thing that anyone could live through. It's just your dust. It's ancient magic.
Maybe Gesh can counter.
Can I put Death Ward on myself?
Well, that doesn't work.
No, it does. Anything that would kill instantaneously without dealing damage just is negated.
Cirilla could try it.
Hmm.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the rules is cannot use magic near other people. So
Well, there might be invisible
I'm
people.
people.
You don't know.
We're not
You
in
as
the
people.
city yet, so surely
Valuable
the-
knowledge to know if it works or not, right? Just go up, say "woo woo," and see what happens.
it's true.
Just sort of force up the door. And
How about we don't experiment with unnecessary risks?
Yup. I like the idea of that. You're not gonna find a life cleric
really good.
that easily.
Yeah, effectively saying that this is a secret door leading to the city. Further south, there is more. The south. They don't know where that other path. Who knows? That they have not been told. After all, they're working on old intel here. It's not like they've been here. They sort of they know the way on the other side of it.
Like this city already, so welcoming considering the bare tunnels and death traps.
I mean, the tunnels are really nondescript in many ways. They look like most tunnels in the Underdark. This region, just kind of damp and like bare and dark.
At least we know the danger's here rather than before.
After you move through this one, guard steps forward and says Zuzun, which then leads the path to open. Letting you through.
Part of me expected you to say that he exploded into ash.
Well, let's not go there.
So we have two options. We can try either Death Ward at that point or counter spell.
Death Ward has to be cast before.
Yeah,
Wait, but don't we know the password?
Yeah, I was saying I thought Manako was gonna say he exploded into ash because he
As you
pronounced
look
it wrong.
through the path, through the secret door, you see that there's indeed a small sort of ledge. Water. It looks, however, like it's already occupied. A small camp has been set up, just minor things, a pack on the ground, and sitting there, humming a slight tune, appears to be an elf with long red hair, just sitting here overlooking the vast water-filled cavern beyond. He's dressed in the finest attire and is sort of dipping his feet in some of the murky water. As the path opens, he looks over, the grumbling sound of rocks moving, making him give you a raised hand, smiling brightly when he sees Cirilla and Roland. Hello there. Care to join me? Gesturing. There's enough for everyone.
No.
And dusting himself off,
Very rude.
putting on back his leather
Oh.
shoes.
What's food, Gesh?
He's got a really thin face.
We're not here to make acquaintances or feed people. We're here to fight demons.
Speak for yourself, Gesh. I think you're a bit.
Come on, please. It's a bit of a distance to speak in. I can see you quite a bit there. Come. Come, there's room enough.
We
We
have
are
to
heading that way
go this
anyway.
way anyway. Sorry, that's not
Pick up his pack.
bad.
Rummage around in a bit. Please enjoy the view. She looks at you. His eyes look sort of red-rimmed, as if he's been crying a lot recently.
Oh.
She looks at you. You know.
Does he seem like he's being genuinely friendly? Like, just
Do like an insight check. Try to read his emotional state.
wow, 4, huh?
He seems almost sad as he looks at you. I mean, yeah, it is really it. Roland would guess that he does indeed look very sorrowful, as if seeing you here makes him feel like sad. That's clearly it. He doesn't seem aggressive in any way currently.
Cyrilla would say, so what's a fellow elf doing so far below the surface?
Well, to speak the truth of it, I came here looking to restore the natural order of the Underdark. You see, I'm a druid of the Neverlight Grove. Well, I became a druid of the Neverlight Grove. Originally, I came from Gontalgrim. They had some issues, the local wildlife, that led me to investigate. I'm sure you've seen it at this point. The demonic taint everywhere.
Oh,
Is your
you have for sure.
is your name Sladis?
He looks at you and says, yes, it is.
Oh,
I don't think we've met.
no. Greetings from Marista Malkin. I'm a personal friend of hers.
Who's that about? Oh. See, frowns. I see. Marissa is a good person. So I believe her friends are good people too. It's not a name I would expect someone down here to know.
We've just come from Gauntlegrim ourselves.
Quite a distance. What have you found?
Have you been to the Grove recently?
Not recently, no. I've been staying here for quite a while. Something about this place. It looks at you as if trying to reach you, trying to see. Like, if you're truthful, like if he can trust you, basically.
You know, hide.
Liam will look at him and say, "You probably should stay away from the Grove. It is infested."
Yes, so is, it seems, every part of the Underdark.
We've been.
However, I'm sad to say, friends, but when I look upon you, you see, I've gained one thing down here. I'm able to discern the corrupted from the uncorrupted.
Oh, you must be seeing a thoroughly colorful display at the moment. It's no surprise for sure.
Speak for
Pained
yourself, Gesh.
expression, nodding. Yes, you're all corrupted.
Wait, what?
I feel quite fine.
What are you expecting, Cyrilla? We've been traveling in the Underdark for what feels like years. Do you think we're somehow different from the folk who slowly, inevitably descend into the abyss of madness? No. We've
I
just
mean,
learned to deal with it.
When we were cleared of our corruptions a while ago, I believe it was all of you that had the most to clear. I just had brain fungus that we were all infected with.
Liam looks over to the druid in a sort of a way.
He looks sorrowful at you. Says,
It is as my companion says. We have been traveling down here for a long time, and we have been battling the corruption for a long time as well. He looks over. Although I am, of course, fine, I think my companions would be quite disturbed at this point. He sort of looks them up and down. Nevertheless, it is as my companion said, we have learned to deal with it.
At
That's what we
first, I too thought it could be easily dealt with. I tried to remove it, I tried to get rid of it, to exorcise it from myself and others. I tried to end the life of those who were affected. However, it seems that whenever this madness escapes someone's mind, it forms a mist, a purple mist. I'm sure you've seen it down here. A creation of a mad mind. Whenever you kill those who are affected, it simply escapes to affect others.
So you're saying the purple mist is madness made manifest?
He nods quickly. Yes, if you walk into it, you will be corrupted.
Well, if that is
Well.
the case, then I have no reason but to accept. But I don't know.
Liam looks him up and down. Well, for all we know, you could be corrupted and mad as well.
He looks at himself and says, I thought so at one point. And I was. I exercised it, however. I am ashamed of that fact, and it is one of the reasons I'm still here trying to remove madness from the world, because the madness that affected me, when I let it go, it took over a dear friend. He shakes his head. At this point, I've been here, he looks over the water, because I think this is one of the places where I can do some good. The fact that you came here perhaps is fated, or something akin to that. Do you believe in the power of the gods? That might be what we're seeing here.
He scratches his cheek. I've seen them manifest.
Cyrilla looks herself up and down. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could say so, huh?
Come, sit with me. There's so many things I wish to talk to you about, if you will allow me. The water again. Sticks his feet in.
Liam will not sit down. He will lean against the wall, eyeing him for any false moves.
You know what?
Bjorn,
Cyrilla
is
will.
here any type of water that he can be easily pulled into?
I was about to say.
He's gonna stand beside Roland.
My friend has gone mad. It's like a tentacle comes up, he just grabs you. Yes, he is beautiful now, isn't he?
Why did I take acrobatics?
His tentacly greatness.
Cyrilla will
As the
sit
god of
sort
Aboleth
of
rises from the deeps.
She was asked by Marista to find him, and although she believes that he's still her friend, colleague,
Yeah, he could be corrupted. in a
he
way
could be
that's-
corrupted, so she's going to be close, but not too close. Yeah.
Looks at her. Says, how is Marissa?
Good. Working for the Enclave in Gauntleroom still.
Good. Glad to hear she's doing great. I feared the madness would have gotten there already.
Only in the depths that have not been occupied. They are staying clear of it.
No, I've done my best to fight it for so long. It sounds mad, but I frankly don't remember what the sun looks like anymore.
It does
She
sound mad.
casts Dawn.
This place has many drow, many Dwaragars with Neplin. People come and go. I've attempted to remove the madness in them, but they are not willing to go along with the procedure.
What exactly?
Most of them
do-
don't like our kind.
What's
What
entailed?
is the procedure?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Cyrilla's curious.
I do have to say, while I initially didn't even want to talk to you, your knowledge has piqued my interest. So, if you're looking for someone to listen to whatever you have to say and suggest, then, well, I'm here.
I was What?
I
was on
must
board with it too.
return the natural order. You see, the Enclave believes that nature has a way of being, a divine way. That when nature is in balance, good things will come. We attempt to keep that balance going.
Where do
It is not
demons fall into your definition of balance?
just they do not. They shouldn't be here. They are natural creatures.
I can agree with
However, you must understand my definition of natural nature. Nature can be cruel. There are children who die young because the storm chooses to take them. The storm is not evil. The storm is just unfortunate. Demons, though, they are not such a thing. They should be combated in every way. The way I found to remove madness, to remove it without infecting anyone, without spreading it, is to bring it through the natural cycle.
Cultivate it, you mean?
Kill the
No.
people.
The DM says, yes, regrettably. But not just that. He sort of looks at the water. What he says pains him. I have to kill them. Then I have to consume their liver.
You what?
Their liver?
It appears to be the only way in which the madness can be removed from the world.
Is he mad?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
completely crazy.
Can we
He's
do an
ki-
insight check again, please?
Sure.
Why the liver? And
He
only
seems,
one?
he
or
seems
both
to
of
be
them?
telling the exact truth.
In his
I
own
mean,
bad
he
adult
believes
mind, yes.
it.
I mean, yeah, he'll believe it, but
I didn't ask for this. And if you truly are a friend of Mr. Mulkin, then perhaps you will help me.
Oh no.
Perhaps.
How did you figure it was the liver and not something more metaphorically significant like the heart? Or the stomach?
I do not know
Right.
why it is what it is. I just know that that is how it is.
How do
As
you
I
know
said before, my existence here has given me one insight. I can see corruption as an aura, a mark around someone.
that? And if
You
you eat
all-
their liver, it disappears.
You know, yes, it is the only way.
Wouldn't that do something to you, however?
He shakes his head. I thought it might. However, for whatever reason, I've been able to endure, untouched by madness.
Beard looks very skeptical.
You are already corrupted, and so I will do you the honor of removing it from you. But before then, there's a place nearby here. A place that's been heavily corrupted. I cannot do this alone. I simply sort of runs a hand over his stomach. I cannot do it alone. There's too much.
It's too many
A few
livers.
stragglers. Sure. But not that much.
He's a cannibal. He's like me.
out of character, the downside to this is even a raised dead, any missing organs aren't restored.
Right.
So you'd be without a liver, which I'm pretty
Even-
sure you
even-
need.
I mean,
Even
I
if
am.
he was telling the truth, which is probably 100% not the case at all. He's just completely
Yeah.
mad at things.
I mean, I'm about to kill him. The Evis have heard enough of this bullshit.
Eh.
He shakes his head. Looks down at the water. About to throw up.
Ugh.
So, what you're saying is very insightful indeed, but how do you know that you yourself do in fact have some sort of resistance against the madness you consume?
He looks at his hand and says, if I were mad, I would see the aura.
What if you seeing the auras is in fact a madness?
If we begin to doubt everything, then we can be assured of nothing.
Have you so far, being in the Underdark, have seen anyone who did not have the aura?
He nods. Yes, there's been quite a few. I let them go. them see me.
Damn it. If only Cyrilla did get a madness, we'd know for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm very tempted to ask for a 10-minute short rest.
Okay. What are you gonna
Look to
have?
Cyrilla.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I
Will
can
you
just
help
ask my
me?
god.
It is my burden to bear, I know, but I am weak. The taste of it is. The thought of what I consume is foul. For a moment, I wish to fling myself in this water. But if you will help me, he reaches into his pouch, pulls out a wet, some shiny liver.
Oh no.
Liam looks at it and shakes his head. Not quite now. What about this other place close by that you need help with? We need more explanation what that is precisely.
I'm not sure, but I've watched people with corruption enter it. I've done nothing to them. There were too many.
What type of people?
Drow, Dwergar. Mainly the Drow.
Where nearby?
He gestures slightly north.
The Empress, the Enclave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Like the Drow embassy. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Cyril will look at this and say, as much as Marista's word does carry weight, there's someone else that I would prefer to ask who cannot be corrupted as we can. Though I would need some time to prepare.
You know, just, of course, if you will help me do what I can't, then I'll do whatever I can to be of assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps first of all you should put away that liver.
Yeah, put away the liver. I mean,
It only gets worse over time, I'll tell you that.
He
Like,
looks at him well the
Yeah.
liver, crossing his arms.
yeah.
I try.
Maybe you
Trust
can
me.
barbecue it.
Wood is hard to come by down here.
Can I can I
Well,
change one of my
it's-
other spells to purify food and drink and purify all the livers?
Sure, it would not be poisonous to eat it for you then, but
No,
I mean,
no,
it seems like it's pretty fresh.
no.
I mean, are you telling me to cook the liver?
Yeah,
What?
cook it.
What exactly is that liver from, if you don't mind my asking?
Christ.
Shoot.
That sounds
happened?
like it.
Uh-huh.
He snuck out alone. His corruption was obvious.
Mhm.
Right.
So he murdered and harvested his liver.
The body I returned to the water.
Oh.
All right, all right. Cyrilla's gonna get up and go sit down over here and start meditating for 10 minutes.
He squishes his feet in the water, looking out into the darkness.
Splish splash, splish splish splash. Oh, goodbye, Dawn.
Sighs, gags slightly, just shakes his head.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I get 3 questions. So in these 10 minutes, Cyrilla's going to be thinking and discussing about what to ask.
Well, yeah.
Because she doesn't need to... Like, it's just a short rest. She just needs to relax, basically. So she can discuss still.
You could say the fact that you have to ask your god for what to do rather than having your god already have told you what to do to save the world from demonkind doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that your god can attack others.
I'm sorry, but did your nightmare-eating god tell you how to fix the world?
Yes, actually, and that about 2 years ago at this point.
Did he tell you how to get there?
In a way.
Did he give you directions? Did he tell you who to trust and not to trust? Huh?
Liam
I got
looks at both
pointed
of
the
you
right way.
and says, "If you do not shut up, I will toss both of you into the river."
That would
Please
be
don't do
very,
that.
very counterproductive now, wouldn't it?
So shut
There are
up then.
things down there.
Liam looks over to the elf. You shut up too. Crossing his arms, looking up and mumbling to himself.
I slowly back away from you.
His tortured glance reaching over you.
But Cyrilla would actually like to discuss with them, as it is a direct question to a god who, if they agree that her questions would be... Basically, I'm saying, out of character, I can't replicate a high wisdom character.
Right.
So,
I'm not sure what you want to ask. Like, like why?
Well, basically, we want to figure out, first of all, is this guy actually, like...
Can he actually fix these things?
No.
Yeah,
No. Like, look at him. Like, come on,
that's
guys.
what, yeah, but that's what we're trying to figure out.
I mean, Cyrilla can just bring you guys back. There's no questioning that.
Our livers.
What? Are you? No. You're not feeding me to this guy. No. I will kill every single one of you if you try.
I can tell you the liver is medically necessary.
If I die, then
agree
my
as well.
soul is going to be taken away.
yeah, exactly. Like we have people with there's claims to some of the souls.
Gesh and I are coming back. Okay.
Okay, and the...
But maybe Cyrilla could become pure again.
It's true.
Oh,
The place that he says is they're all going to, is this actually a thing that we should be worried about, or is this another crazed...
I mean, we could go and take a
lunacy?
look at the place. Maybe it's the city. Who knows?
Well, no, the city's to our south, isn't it? And I'm presuming he was pointing to
It
this
is
offshoot.
definitely
Sorry?
It is definitely the city he's talking.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
I thought he said to the north, and I thought we were heading south. Sorry.
I think the south is just a bunch
We
of...
were. But the south is the Dark Lake right now. So
We came
I'm confused.
Not a
it's
fan
past
of
the
the
entrance
Dark Lake.
already.
I thought we were heading to the city. Ugh.
I mean, your questions are basically...
Well, yeah, my questions are pretty moot now, because I thought that he was pointing us in a different direction other than the city. Because I thought we were heading south towards the city.
I mean, you can still ask, though, if you're...
No, we headed south to the ledge to park our caravan.
Oh, okay. Alright, I thought we...
Yeah, just
Sure.
put it in a safe place before we go.
Things we can't really leave our caravan here with this guy because he'll eat them.
Yeah.
We can warn them.
Yeah, but I think he's like... I mean, he's lasted this long. He must be somewhat a
Competent, yeah.
competent druid, so... That in itself...
He might just become a raven and peck out their liver.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, that's sort of cleared. I don't... He is a bit crazy and eating... Well, not a bit. He's very crazy. Eating
Yeah, I mean,
livers
I
is...
think Liam is just gonna kill him right now. I think that's the case of it.
Liam is fine leaving him here as his mouse, but if he's like stalking and eating people and leaving the city, that seems like a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, all it could take is just a simple push.
I mean, no, he's a druid. He'll turn into a shark or something. Just swim away.
Yeah, he can do whatever he
I
wants.
mean, if this is a city problem, if they have a problem with him eating the citizens, Liam would be like this. I'm not taking out your trash. You know, you can deal with him if you need to. He has been friendly towards us. He's just very creepy and eats people.
Like most other people down here.
Is eating people a habit that Cyrilla would be
Oh, God, no.
motivated to?
God, no.
Oh god.
I mean, she's very much of the opinion that she's only giving this guy a chance because Marista Malkin, her friend, personal friend, asked her to find him in the Underdark. So the only reason she's giving this guy any thought is because of that.
Fair word.
The scouts you have, that are still alive. You know, they've seen before and say that. I mean, this is not what they expected. Then again, they expected to find him dead.
This is just as
If
well as
we
dead.
could bring him back, though, he
Took
might be able to be saved.
It's a long way back. We're gonna keep him until then.
And we can't guarantee that he's going to be
I mean,
a safe asset along the
We
way.
could be like, hey, come with us. We'll escort you through the Underdark and keep you safe. And if you touch any of our livers, you're dead.
Sure.
We could say that.
We can, I mean,
I don't know if that's gonna sell it.
I mean, we could be away killing monsters, and he could be a pretty competent druid, and you know, he could wipe out a chunk of our caravan, I reckon, if he's half decent.
Well, that's why we bring him with us, not leave him behind.
He would eventually try to save people and eat their livers.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think he's going to end up trying to save everyone's livers. I mean,
we're justified
souls.
in killing him then at that point.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I'm coming to. Is
Oh,
he's yeah.
One of them would say that if we kill him, we must make sure that he returns to the natural order at least.
we have to eat his liver.
No,
Liam says
that's not
that.
what you meant.
I know.
Oh, he'll return to the order.
Either bring his corpse. She looks to Cyrilla.
Mhm.
However, Lady Cyrilla, could you not bring him back?
Oh,
I mean, I can. After a certain extent, the soul cannot be brought back, but yes.
Does madness stick to the soul?
It's a profoundly philosophical
That's a very
question.
profound question, yeah.
Guess.
I do not know the answer.
Yes, turn to
I
Gesh,
mean,
our
maybe
soul
Guess
expert.
Guess is the philosophical.
maybe
expert.
Cyrilla knows, because I don't.
Cyrilla's wouldn't know.
No, I don't think
None
so.
of you really interacted enough with madness and resurrection to.
Yeah.
It's not a common.
So, could you rephrase the question? I would be happy to give advice.
They look to Gesh. They don't look to me. Cyrilla.
I mean, the question would be is that raising, or the hypothesis is that raising someone back from the dead doesn't cure them of, well, it does cure them of pretty much anything.
But does it cure them of madness? Now,
Well,
that sort of embodies the very philosophical question that I've been chasing. Is something that happens to you just something happening to your body, or does it change your soul?
Do I have
Because
silence
in the
as a
end,
spell? I do.
resurrecting someone is merely returning their soul to the body, so if the soul was afflicted by this madness or other societal impacts, then that wouldn't change anything. But if it's merely a disease of some sort, a scar in a sense, then sure it would work.
I mean, not that I believe him, but he did say when these people that are affected are killed, then the mist just
Maybe
Jim
it out.
that's a good
Jim
point.
Jar bets a gold coin that it'll work.
That's a gold coin. Come on, Jim Jar, you're gonna have to raise the stakes here, buddy. It's a life we're talking about here, man.
It's not about the amount, but the risk.
So, considering we're at a bit of a dead end in terms of decision making, and honestly, I think, in my educated opinion, you could be correct or entirely wrong. why don't we flip a coin and whatever
Oh.
comes up, we do?
Boy.
Your loves
Okay.
it, dear. So into it.
Let me flip it.
All right, hang on. Let me pose this scenario here,
You
real
quirks and
real
eyebrow.
quick,
Are we,
Druid looks over to you.
real
Wow.
are
quick.
we really deciding this on a coin flip?
No,
In
no.
the end, we
I'm
are
not.
slaves to fate here.
Timora
so
is
might as well
deciding.
ask what it thinks.
I'm
It
going.
is true.
So-
Never gods of luck have their say.
Yes.
We've been asking a lot of gods lately. Might as well ask the god of luck.
Hey, she's got me this
And
far.
Joe really has the coin out.
Yeah.
If,
Alright, Jim Jar.
Anyone taking me up on the bet?
fuck. If you're
I
gonna
would-
kill him,
I
Liam,
would
do it at
literally
least
zero.
so I can get to him. I need
Sure,
to touch him.
I'll take him up on the bet.
Sladis looks up at
Oh,
I imagine I have advantage.
Can't believe.
Alright.
Stab him once.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, but he
Well, I
looks
didn't
I
get my
guess.
10 minutes, so I'm
looks
taking
up at
back
you,
Dawn.
wet eyes as you stab him. He
guess the god of
coughs
war-
blood running out of him, the blade through his back.
Yeah, lad, stab him again. There we go.
You swing your blade.
No.
no, chop
I
off.
see if
need
you cut
limbs.
anything
No,
off.
don't chop off limbs.
Oh
Hmm?
no.
mean,
Don't
it-
chop
Please
off
don't
his
chop
sword,
off limbs.
okay.
I can't restore
Then Liam
those.
will just run the sword right through him, like through the heart, like,
No, we need that too.
and then just pull it out in a swift motion.
Oh my god.
And there's your damn corpse.
All right, I
No.
guess. No, don't put it in the water.
Jonas! I mean,
Fine, he'll
grab it.
he'll grab it, he'll toss it behind him.
Okay.
Eldith nods, agreeing
Fuck.
that mad creatures of the Underdark shouldn't be.
Alright, before you try anything though, is there anything noticeable happening? Is the question.
Liam looks at you, just shakes his head and says,
Now, before anyone does anything,
Who's saying this
gold
specifically?
coin. Jim Jar.
Ginger.
Bro.
I mean, we don't know if it worked yet, right?
Yeah.
Liam points his sword to the rest of the party and says, if you ever gamble like this with a creature's life, I would be very disappointed. I killed it. Yes, I take responsibility for this. Take responsibility for your own damn actions. Luck my ass. Bah! Leans against the wall.
So he's out, but who else? 2 gold coins that this is going to work.
All right, hang on. I've got a minute to bring him back with a revivify, which does exactly. Actually, no. I'll use raised dead. Sorry.
I'll humor Jim Jar because he's just gonna keep asking. 2 points.
Though, actually, no. I did put away that amount. Good. All right, I do have enough money for 1 raised dead.
I'll put in a gold coin. That's work.
Here, I have like money, so if you need it, I'll do it.
It's
It is-
500 gold for a raised dead.
I have 178. Take all
So
of that.
what do you guys
I've
think
already
it's gonna
got-
work?
No, it's not gonna work.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a damn go. A good go at bringing him back to life. So, I guess. It does mean, however, we all get to rest for an hour. Because raising someone from the dead is not a quick thing.
No, it's not. How does Cyrilla do it? What is her hour-long ritual?
Well, she starts by placing the now bloodied corpse onto his back, placing his hands crossed across his chest, and will kneel beside him, place her holy symbol to her left-hand side, and will take off her sword belt, put it onto her right-hand side, and then we'll spend the next hour with her hands, one hand on his chest, the other by his hip, and we'll be slowly speaking in Elvish, mumbling under her breath, unintelligible to pretty much anything. Basically praying for his soul to be brought back, for any diseases, curses, or similar ailments to be removed, for all wounds to be resealed, and for everything to be knit back together, for the soul to inhabit it again. I also heal 7 hit points for some reason. Yeah, and doing this costs a lot of oils, and one very large, or a large amount. I suppose it has to be it does have to be a diamond, right? I imagine that I would have.
Guessed.
No, it says a diamond, right?
That's true.
Yeah, so maybe okay. She would have had to buy a giant diamond in Gauntlegrim to place, to draw his soul back into his body, and in doing so, it cracks and crumbles and breaks away into nothingness.
Roll me a d20.
Pretty average.
Yeah, I mean, an hour goes by. What is the rest of you doing while this is going on? You know, blood splatter, dead elf, Sivrilla chanting, anointing, and
Just watching her. I mean,
Liam has his arm crossed, leaned against the wall. He's still deeply disappointed.
Roland is simply sitting down beside the water here. One of his journals out on his lap, and he currently appears to be sketching something in charcoal.
I want to see that artist roll.
Gash during Cyrilla's ritual here will head it over to Liam
oh no.
and say, "You know what, Liam? I do agree with the fact that you should take responsibility for your own actions. Otherwise, well, you're the one doing them, so there can be no one else to blame once you've done them. But in this case, the dead end was not the responsibility of who should take the responsibility, but to make the decision in the first place. If we do not have the availability of information or the mental capacity to make an informed choice, but a choice has to be made, then surely the last and only option is to choose something at random."
He looks at him and says, "If the choice is about taking a life, I prefer to just take the choice, really. If it's random, it's not my choice."
But how would you argue that one choice is better than the other?
And he looks at the dead elf and says, "He was mad, a cannibal, eating for all we know innocent people coming in and out of the city. It was good that he died. This area is safer without him, I believe."
Well, Cyrilla is just bringing him back, I think, and if she's not successful, then we didn't change anything.
Liam frowns at the ritual and says, "Yes, I don't agree with this. I think it is a fool's errand. And we've only put him through misery."
Well, it is worth a try for sure, I think.
So crosses his arms again. "There's a lot of pain and suffering he's going through, no doubt, and we are subjecting him to a lot of it. Just for a hunch, or as I see it, very ill-conceived idea. Now, if one of you wants to kill themselves and get resurrected multiple times to see if it works, then by all means, but this is a choice we took for someone else. It didn't really have a say in it, did it?"
A choice that may, however, result in information to help us in our quest to rid the entire world of demons.
By rights, they
By
initially were intending on killing him in the first place.
by killing everyone and resurrecting everyone.
It is a more specific option than whatever I'm looking for in the library, at least.
Because if we have to do that, this will take a while.
I don't think it would be the action of a single or even an army of clerics that would attempt such a thing, but a more powerful being could.
Liam smirks slightly for his inner eye. He sees the church of Mileki charge out to kill everything in its sight and then resurrecting it. What a grand crusade it would be. The blood crusade. He says, no, I believe this. Maybe purity can be born from suffering and blood. It seems a bit evil to me, though.
I suppose, by the general definition of evil, killing someone just to resurrect them in a unlikely experiment to see if it purges someone's madness is most thoroughly evil, but perhaps it works. Who knows?
He shrugs.
We'll know for sure soon enough. Although I guess we won't know, because how would we know?
If he wants to eat livers, I imagine.
Maybe he wasn't mad in the first place.
Shrugs. Maybe. But that's a strange version of sanity then.
One's definition of sanity has to be very malleable in these situations.
Looks at the rest of the party.
I'd imagine the banter about random philosophical things goes on as Cyrilla does her thing.
It is perhaps a bit extended, the ritual. The soul of this person is not very willing to return, perhaps not very able. However, given the insistence and the strength and conviction that Cyrilla puts into the magic, the body shudders, shakes, the crystal crumbles into magical dust, inhaled by it. And the eyes flare open, a look of drained exhaustion upon the elf's face. She looks around. Then tears begin to run from his eyes as he closes them and leans back on the ground again, weeping quietly.
Well, Cyrilla, knowing that it's got to be quite an ordeal, will leave him to recuperate a bit. And we'll just look towards Liam and Gesh, having heard their conversation, and say, I brought him back not as an experiment to see if his madness would stay, but I brought him back because a friend would rather see him live, and I wasn't exactly agreeing that we should murder him.
Well, he looks at him. Grateful.
But does he look grateful because he thinks he is no longer mad and agrees that previously he was mad? Or due to the fact that he's no longer dead when previously he was in fact dead?
Liam side glances at Gesh. The sour sarcasm just passing right by him, apparently.
Cyrilla will then do the other job of a healer, and will try and calm the man. As best she can, at least.
How?
Reassuring him that it's okay, that the ordeal is over, that, You're not dead is a good one.
Maybe you should offer him some food in this trying time.
It's true. Cyril will offer some food and water that she'll conjure because she doesn't want to wait, of course. It's instant, right? And he needs to eat now because he's... I mean, it's not good for him to have not eaten for so long. Especially after dying. I'm sure you've got to be famished.
Yes, you do all this, moves up on his elbows, and then sort of scrambles himself a little bit of distance away. Just says, "No, please." He scrambles over to lean against the wall so he can sit up, completely fatigued. And then he froze up into the water, grabbing his bag and then pushing it out to sink it into the sea.
Not into eating the livers anymore?
He looks at Cyrilla, just eyes running and red before he closes them and leans back against the wall.
Hmm. If only I could see the aura of people that were crazy. That would be useful.
Maybe if you take his eyes, you can see.
Nah, you should never have more than 2 eyes. We learnt that early on in this campaign.
Well, I mean, you'll have to throw away yours. first.
Speaking of evil acts, taking someone's eyes, I think, would fall into that.
I think I've got to agree. Taking eyes would be pretty bad.
Unless they're already dead.
That could be arranged.
As we look at Riordan, he has several eyes attached to him.
Yeah. On his helmet.
This is my beholder collection.
They make me spot my enemies.
Enemy.
Eventually looks up at you and just says, "I am in no danger." I need time.
Well,
Did it work or did it not? That's the question.
I think it worked.
You know what? Gym jar. Did it work? Do I lose or win?
Ginger looks at him and just, Liam, do you think it worked?
looks over to the elves, scrutinizing it up and down. I don't know.
Ginger looks disappointed.
If I were a mad elf who thought he was doing the right thing, but got stabbed for it, I would assure the people who stabbed him that, yes, everything is fine now.
Well, he did just say that he's no danger.
To us.
Or he is no danger to himself or others, rather.
Well, is he really a danger if he's doing others a favor?
By killing them? Yes.
I suppose.
I just had a thought. When Cyrilla before used like lesser restoration and greater restoration on herself and others that had madnesses, she felt it herself being blocked, right? Like something greater was stopping her from removing it.
Well, she was trying to remove something, yeah. But she has indeed experienced that if she knows someone is mad, she cannot get rid of it forever. But she knows that she can suppress madness. That she has God knows her God is powerful enough to temporarily banish the demon influence on someone's mind.
I was just thinking that if she can feel it as she's trying to
Oh, do it.
do
yeah,
it,
sure.
then
It's more of a post vision sort of thing.
Okay.
Like it's more you see that something that is not working, right?
yeah,
What you're trying to remove is either part of their personality or is not something that can be.
yeah. So
By that concept, you know, if he did, still, yeah.
yeah. So my thought would be if I tried lesser restoration on him, then I would either know there's nothing there to restore. There's no madness there.
Either just I mean you would know that by looking at his reaction.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
If they're no longer acting mad, then you're probably removed from madness. If they are acting mad still, maybe they're just like ordinarily crazy people.
Okay. So I am going to declare this a success, though there's a lot of variables.
Druid looks at Ginger.
Jim Jar will collect his money.
Yeah, Roland will flick his one coin against Jimjo.
It was 2 for me, so I'll give
Money
him
for
2.
make so many bets now.
9 to gold.
Maybe he's magical. Maybe his bets are just have like magical properties. Who knows? Power of belief.
Power of belief.
Do you still need that liver you were carrying?
Oh, he threw it into the Dark Lake.
Oh.
And the bag full of them, I think.
What were you gonna do with it?
Sorry, you
Just
wanted
for later.
food, Gesh? I've got this. Got 45 pounds of it right here. I think you
That
should
is-
eat some.
Would be the same.
No, but I really think you should. It's good for you, Gesh. You're looking a little drawn.
Did you say food?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
some there.
Sure.
You should eat as well. You're not looking as full in the face as you normally do. Did you have your third breakfast today?
No, not yet.
Fair.
I think you should. Really.
Okay.
Food is about quality, not quantity. Like,
Yeah,
what does
folks.
it mean to eat right now?
As you reach to have food, and lets himself fall in the water,
Oh, whoa!
disappearing in the dark waves for a moment before you see the fin of a fish
Alright.
swim away from the shore.
Well,
Okay.
hey, you know, if Jar says it works, it works. I believe him.
He peaced
Well,
out.
that was
So,
an effort well spent. Looking at the fish swimming away. I could stop it potentially.
I think he probably wants to leave
I mean, yes.
and
but
get
you
away.
want him to leave.
I don't see any reason to keep him.
No shrugs. Alright.
Not against his will, at least. I don't think he's going to be harming anyone for their livers anytime soon.
So, should we get our people set up here and then head into the city proper? Well, city.
Yeah. I think so.
Sure. The Tar will nod and set down their thing. So with all the other companions, and they all look at you and say that once you get to the entrance, just utter the drow word Belairn. That should.
Belair, huh?
Belairn.
Belair, okay. Onwards, I guess, guys?
Yes, onwards. Wasting too much time.
yes.
Could be spent saving the world somehow.
I think we learned something very crucial. Also disturbing, but both.
Death is always the answer.
No life, but there can be life after death.
That's what her uncle said.
It's
Mhm.
true. So I'm doing it slightly differently.
Cement.
If I start eating brains, maybe I become smarter.
I mean, you are what you
Works
eat.
for some creatures, right?
That actually makes a lot of sense, Liam. But where will we get brains from? And the good ones?
We
Yeah,
can't get
that's the
stupid
thing.
ones like these ones.
No.
Everyone looks to Riordan.
No.
He's got
no,
brains
all
in
of you,
jars.
all of your brains are clearly too stupid. Liam is very smart. Like you
I
need
just-
to.
Oh, sure, sure.
You know, as the person who actually is proficient in intelligence saves, I'm going to run away now.
Good.
Roland, would you come over here for a second? I need to
Get
show
the
you
nerd!
Smell you for madness.
In fairness, I might be really Roland might have really good intelligence, but apparently his madness scale is a different matter.
Yeah.
something. He doesn't have good insight, so he will come over to Liam's.
No,
Roland's got good insight.
Oh, it's
That's
fantastic.
a
insight.
Boromir stare.
Yeah, the Boromir stare.
Why are you running, Roland?
Come back!
We've always been friends.
Hmm.
You know, this
Roland,
is- and
you're
this
gonna
is
betray us all!
and this is why I'm thankful Roland also has enough stealth that he can just vanish.
Okay,
Like turning invisible, you say?
where was it again?
Mm,
There's even water here you can sail away in a boat with and everything. Think how much it knows.
I'm not proficient in boats.
Was it this way?
Much consider just uttering words so that
So that he gets incinerated again.
it doesn't have to exist. Existence is pain. Nothing is meant
Go
to exist.
resurrect you, and also you have a purpose being here. So shut up and deal with it, as we all do.
He's a slave. Slave to existence. Just as all of you are, except he's the only one realizing it. Existence is imperfect. Nightmare. By definition, perfect.
Why am I stuck with you two?
So who wants to utter the phrase?
And Roland's been waiting long enough for this. He'll go ahead and do it.
Alright.
Does it explode?
No, you cannot explode from it.
I mean, does he disintegrate it?
No, he knows the word. The phrase. He says it, and the path opens up.
It would be a great time to suddenly find out we've been betrayed.
It's the wrong word.
I mean, it's
So,
great.
do you have another 500 gold pieces of diamond?
I do not.
No, but your information, it's actually an AoE effect.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Good to know.
Do you have 2,500 gold pieces of diamond?
If I was
Nah.
feeling especially suicidal.
yeah, you can safely hold up people outside the door here because
Suicide
what are they gonna
speaking.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you perform saying the word and touching the stone, and indeed, it removes itself from you, revealing a passage on. The passage here is fairly dark. There isn't any light really, and it seems as nondescript as all the others. However, at the end of it, you can see a faint light.
Roland will press forward.
Mm-hmm.
His hood is currently up.
Near the drizzling of water.
Liam coming.
Oh, sure.
I mean, he can choose not to come in.
Can I?
As Roland continues, he sees that the passage turns into what looks like a trench it appears that there is a quite high wall going upwards towards a plateau of some sort. Effectively seeing that you're walking down what would almost appear like a waterless channel as you continue forward. In the center of the channel, you can see what appears to be once sort of a lot of shards of what appears to be a shattered crystal. At the sides of it, there is lifts, it appears, mechanical. The light here is fairly decent. Up above, as you look further from in here, you can see that fairly nice light, sort of a nice, calm blue hue, perhaps to not hurt the eyes of creatures that are hurt by bright light, but still provide enough light that people can sort of see. Well,
Do we see anyone else around?
the trench appears to be empty currently, and as sort of as you look up, the sides are about 50 foot high, making it fairly difficult to see over them, really. You can hear some sounds, though. Commotion, sounds like things being moved. Sounds of water running.
Huh. Riordan is a bit paranoid.
I can swim.
You can by the bridge, or the bridges, take a lift up if you so desire. The creaking of the ropes and such being pulled.
So anyone want to find? So anyone want to discover what a lift is like?
Sure.
Well, up the lift, I guess.
Up 1 floor, please.
Sure.
Right in.
I know we start smoking.
So give me an elevator guy with the tip.
Begin your ascend lift. The system appears fairly old. The crystal here, perhaps once a magical teleportation crystal or levitation for that matter, as the lifts don't seem to have been built to really be raised in this manner by basically pulling rope. The place that comes into view is fairly large. Really so large that it's almost hard to get a view of all of it at once. There are tents, there are market stalls, and there are few people around. Is there some good vision I can wiggle? Pretty good vision. You can leave the trench now. To the north here, you can hear the commotion coming from. And what you see there is here surprising, perhaps. Oh, don't move so quickly. Up here, it appears that the two big Dwergar, enlarged currently, is rummaging through a bunch of stalls, smashing it, while two small Swift Neplin are trying to hide under a table.
Okay.
In the south here, you see a gathering of Dwergar looking towards a door, rather menacingly. Two of them walking up with their picks, beginning to test it.
What seems to be going on here?
Well, there's one surefire way to find out.
Yes.
Wow, shit.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
Ah, shit.
Are any of you disguised, by the way?
No.
No.
Not allowed to.
From the north, you hear a scream as one of the Swift Neplin is stabbed.
We really went one of the wrong ways, Aaron.
I mean,
Himself. One of the Dwergar turns. A few more come with him, forming up as words in Undercommon are spoken.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
No idea.
They seem to be dismissing you.
All right, let's
Their gestures, gesturing for you to go somewhere else.
Maybe we could save the Swift Neblin.
Sure, I can get over there now, like immediately.
I mean, I could get over there pretty quick as well.
Let's not join a war before we know the sides, shall we?
I mean, I'm just standing in the way. They're gonna die. Well, they're dead already.
Well, yeah, they're gonna die.
Doesn't matter.
I love that one so
Do
much.
you have some of that magic that lets me speak their language?
I don't have it prepared
Well, that's bother now, isn't it?
because it's that
They're all dead anyway.
mass healing word or spirit guardians or create food and water. But really, create food and water is a lot more important than tongues.
Dwergar
So-
to the north seem to be rampaging through stuff.
How about we
Hot
very,
stalls.
very quickly try to find someone who we can actually talk to before we decide to do something that will escalate inevitably.
Sure, but by the time we do that, everything will be destroyed.
The area you're
anyway, so-
currently in appears to be covered in a lot of fungi, growing everywhere, left wild, really.
Ah,
Strewn
this
about
pretty-
here by the
pretty
Dwergar,
nice.
half covered by the fungi, appears to be a lot of dead Swift Neblin, maybe
Oh, wow.
30. The wounds on them appear to be mostly inflicted by the heavy picks that the Dwergar walking about here have wield. Most of them seem to have bloody picks as they move around, testing the door, seemingly trying to carry. From one of the dead Swift Neblin, however, you see a pouch of what appears to be very valuable gems having fallen. The Dwerg are apparently uncaring of this wealth.
If I had to guess, I would say that these Swerfneblin are afflicted by fungal parasites and the Durga are cleaning them out. So let's not jump to anyone's rescue quite yet.
Well, if I have to guess, it seems to me that the Dwerg are enacting a purge. A pogrom, if you want. Against a race of beings that have been very friendly and helpful towards us in the past.
Yeah.
And most likely not all of them are afflicted. However, neither do we have a way to tell who is, nor do we have any good way to stop a rampaging group of Durga without getting kicked out of the city where we need potentially vital information to save the entire world.
Manico,
Mm-hmm.
the Sniff Neblin with the pouch of like gemstones and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The one you're talking about, the ones over here.
No, over here.
In which case, so Roland kind of sees those gemstones there. His eyes sparkle a little bit. Right, thoughts run through his mind, especially about the ritual that just occurred. And Roland is going to. I think Roland would just. I think Roland would just subtly end up trying to use the concealed version of his mage hand to just pocket those,
Sure.
as is the right of being an arcane trickster.
Mm-hmm.
At range
So,
up to 30 feet, I can lift. I can hit
Those
lift
little things roll over to you. He sees actually that a lot of these Swift Neblin appears to have very, very nice pouches. Some of them have also jewelers' tools. Perhaps these are merchants who have handled jewelry and gemstones.
do they have any insignia or something to tell them if they're from Blytonstone or not?
There's no real way to say. Limestone such doesn't really have any insignia. It just kind of is the city of the Swift Neblin.
Well,
Uh-huh.
there's some Darrow to the north. Maybe they're
Come
more.
on.
I
No.
mean,
We're not
it's
going to
that or the
Darrow. Like,
Drow. Someone's got to be.
They're sticking their feet in the water, splashing about.
Someone's got to
So-
talk to
Really,
us.
unperturbed, really.
so what's the, like, you told us that the arms and armor were bloodied because of the slaughter, but how do the Dragar look otherwise? Do they have wide, glaring eyes? Is it are they frothing at the mouth, screaming? Like,
No,
they
they
bleeding?
seem dour and very sort of angry,
Oh,
like a
are they blinking?
like a smoldering anger.
does
rage.
anyone speak Dwarven, perhaps?
I speak Dwarven.
Yeah, I
Talk to
speak
them
Dwarven.
then.
Sure. Cyrilla will say in Dwarvish. Can anyone talk to us?
And turns around and says, speaks in Dwarven with a Dwarka accent. You can all sound a bit more gravelly. We have no interest in you, visitors. The markets are closed.
Can I ask what's happened?
The Swerve Neblin Enclave have broken the laws of this place. We are exerting justice upon them.
What law did they break?
Theft.
Roll it.
Well, I mean, the dead don't own anything, so it's not even...
Roland, from that one dead person, manages to get what appears to be 4 nicely cut gems worth 50 gold pieces each.
Oh.
There's quite a few dead people here.
And jeweler's tools as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Which case,
So quite a few dead people, quite a few pouches.
can I add them as pure currency in? Or
Yeah, add them as gems though. That's more interesting.
so I have four gems worth 50 each.
Oh, I need to be able to get 300 gold worth of diamonds for Revivify.
We did roll them back up.
Jeweler merchants seem to have quite a nice amount of
So,
gems.
does Cyrilla translate?
Yeah, sure.
Could you ask them why they're staring angrily at that door over there?
Why are you staring angrily at that door over there?
One of them looks back and says, "Why do you care?"
Why do you care?
I care because you just make something up and get them to tell you. It's very tiring to have you translate.
Cyrilla goes, because it's just a peculiar sight. We weren't expecting to see it.
No, Cyrilla. You should
You
have said,
roll
we
a,
care.
like a deception.
I mean, guess you've no idea.
I'm
what
not
to say.
being deceptive at all. I wasn't expecting to see this.
All right, he shakes his head. We have no time for guests. You should leave this place. The markets are closed for the time being.
Say something along the lines of, we care because maybe we can assist to make a good impression in our first visit of the city.
Two of the Dwargar
Okay.
turn large and begin smashing their shoulders into the wall, which makes them just freeze in place for a moment.
Oh,
Cyrilla will repeat Gesh in Dwarvish. That we want to help.
We have no need for your help. It is only a matter of time. Their defenses are well known to us.
Ask them what they stole.
What did they steal to cause a, I'm sure, very sensible outcry?
They stole Krimgol's gem.
Cyrilla looks at the party and in common says, Grimgol's gem? Anyone heard of that?
Regardless of what it is, any theft is punishable by death.
Yes, but not all of them, surely. Maybe they weren't responsible.
Maybe they're all responsible.
Perhaps you should take your place elsewhere. The Surfacer Enclave is to the northwest.
Northwest.
You are not wanted.
You know, things would be wonderful if I did.
Yes.
I think we should go to the northwest.
Alright.
As you go here,
Oh.
the area north, you see the trashed market area. Just completely every place, every table has been flipped, every chest has been ripped open, and all the goods torn out. There's the bodies of a few more merchants, though these seem to have been thoroughly searched for what they have upon them.
Basically, they're going to kill any Swift-Neblin that end up happening.
Cyril, however, sees that that under a pile of Swift-Niblin clothes, there's a shuddering. Her, the only one capable of actually seeing it.
That's one alive.
Okay, she'll tell the party to slow, and then she'll go to Roland, the sneakiest person she knows, and will say very quietly in Elvish, because actually no, Dwarvish, not Dwarf, Common. Oh God, not Elvish because Drow, so Common. That there is some shuddering under those clothes, and to not draw that much attention, probably best if he looked at it, and not the entire party.
Looks like while you're pointing. Takes a moment. Lets out a deep sigh of as Roland will, well, with visibility essentially, begin to stalk silently to go take a look.
Mm-hmm. Sure, could you roll a perception check?
I can roll perception if you want me to. Do I get any help from like Cyrilla, like?
Yeah, advantage.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me. Anyway, but yeah, you see a Swift-Neblin under these pile of clothes. He appears to be dressed in white, a white robe, somewhat mostly clean, and then he has like a leather bag, like that he's holding tight to his chest, laying. Try to be quiet.
Roland's gonna like shift back. Cyrilla. Voice. It's just no one of this merchant bag or something, holding it tightly. I don't really see what you want me to do there.
Sort of like looks to Roland, glances at the Swift-Neblin, and looks to the group and says as quietly as she can for everybody to hear, and will say, "There being a Swift-Neblin over there with a pouch, I'm torn between helping him by actively helping him, or helping him by not revealing where he is. Thoughts?"
You could tell us what the hell is going on. I'm still not quite clear about what happened here.
Does he speak a language we all
I
understand?
seriously, I have a feeling they will have no idea of them.
Well, Gesh, you can always
Well, you said it was holding a bag. Maybe it's the stolen gem in the bag.
talk to him
You really
without
think that's likely?
getting close, if you know what I mean.
I can talk to him, but it's only one way.
Yes, well, maybe announcing our intention before we go over might freak him out. If we decide to.
On the other hand, hearing a voice in your head also tends to freak people out.
True.
Besides, even if we wanted to, take him along with us and ask him somewhere in private, how would we get him there?
You put him in the bag.
Bag of holding.
I mean,
It's
creatures
small
do
enough
not
that
survive
it's-
very
No,
long.
you
in bags.
can't. Bag of holdings are
Uh,
deadly. We went through this on Forsaken Throne, remember?
Liam points at his bag. No, I have a bag.
You want to sack him?
Yeah.
Wait, are we treating him like Splug?
I do not know what that is, but yes.
Not a terrible idea. We'd have to do it. So, no one could see.
Well, Vengesh, if you would communicate with him that if he crawls into my sack, he will survive.
Oh boy. You have to face it like that.
Liam looks at what?
Crawl into my sack and you will live.
Well, Gash will move forward a bit then, looking some other ways to not draw attention, and then pretty much telepathically tell the Swerveneblin, do not be alarmed. We have spotted you. We will protect you. My companion will try to hide you in his bag, so cooperate or else, I suppose.
He looks towards you and wordlessly with his mouth mimes, that would be against the law.
Oh, who cares?
Oh, we're not
Wait.
hiding.
He looks
We're
around.
not concealing anything from.
We're not
Noting
dis-
that he is
Oh,
spotted, he crawls out from under the clothes and
I mean,
he
he's
dusts
already
himself
broken
off,
the law, so.
fiddles with something and puts on a pair of spectacles. We're trying to really
Moves
look
up,
at you.
I guess we're not putting him in the
opens
sack.
up the sack. Get in.
I would rather not.
Liam closes the sack and says, "Well, no choice then."
Just thank you. Fair enough.
Are you sure the Durga aren't going to want to do to you what they did to the others if you're just walking around in the open?
Oh, they might, but they seem to be very interested in what's down there. I certainly don't have their gem.
What is down there?
That would be the Swerveneblin Enclave.
It seems they're looking for a gem that has been stolen.
Yes, they were rather vocal about that.
You wouldn't know
Has it
anything
been
at all about this,
stolen
right?
by you?
This is me. Looks at himself.
Your people.
I am not. Looks at- well, you think all Swerveneblin are friends?
Oh, gosh.
Do you think
These
it
are not
has
my
been?
people. I am a guest here, just as you. Well, I assume you are. You don't look like Centarim.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think that one of the Swerveneblin has in fact taken this gem, and why is it such a big deal in the first place, other than being fact?
Yeah, I don't know more than you do. I came here yesterday.
Well, you all then know more than we do because we just came here earlier.
This is just, he opens his bag and shows you. In there you see some knives, like a spoon, a spool of thread, a needle and such. He says, I'm a surgeon. I take care of people. I did not expect this.
Welcome aboard.
He doesn't have like any illusion cast on his back, does he?
No, it appears to be very illusion free as per the rules.
Mhm. Well, so he is a
You also know
normal healer.
That Swerveneblin can disguise themselves fairly easily with their inborn magic.
Yes. That's
Well,
against
how
the law.
about we wander north a little bit to be thoroughly out of sight of the angry Durga mob, and
Well,
you.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Alright, let's go.
Where did you come from?
Where did he
Oh,
go?
I've traveled all over the place. I don't really have a home, so to speak. I go where I'm needed.
You are needed here.
That's what I thought. But, well, perhaps I am, but this is a little more than I bargained for, I think. Who might you be? Why are you here? To trade, I assume?
We're here to save the world from the inevitable and ongoing demon invasion.
Yes, we're trading for information.
No, admirable.
You're-
Admirable.
Deep Shrug says, if you have been to Blightstone recently, you might have heard of us. We helped defeat
I
the
have
Pudding
not
King.
recently. I was going in that direction, however. I heard rumors that here was something quite interesting, actually.
We defeated something called the Pudding King and saved the city. Also broken a peace with the were-rats, I believe.
Oh, it's quite a feat. Quite a feat.
Many feats,
Oh,
but they will
for a
pale
long
in comparison to our heroism soon to be done.
I am Peebles.
Hello,
Sort of
peoples.
reaches out his hand.
Liam shakes it, so I'm Liam.
Little hand, shake it. Yeah, sure. He seems to have very, very steady hands.
Yeah,
A good surgeon.
I like this guy.
Sort of moves over to shake the rest of his hands.
The trap, but I'll shake his hand.
Roland refuses to shake hands.
Well, he holds it out, like looking at Roland. Then he like awkwardly like
Shuffles over.
scratches his nose with it instead, and then goes to shake Roland's hand. Giving Roland like a little side eye, like like looking to Gesh and Liam to see if that's like normal, or if he should feel insulted.
Oh no, it's
Bjorn
normal.
gives him a wink. It's fine.
It's just normal.
What is normal these days?
Roland has always been like this.
Very well. I hope you don't mind if I stick with you for a little bit. It seems safer. As he looks down towards the mob.
It would be even safer if you did climb in Liam's bag, but that's up to you.
I have learned much in my travels with the Underdark, and whenever I ask this question, it never leads to good things. I hope you understand. Now, I appreciate you not forcing me into it, but because that would be unfortunate for all of us. Mostly me, though.
You're welcome to travel with us.
I mostly think it would look funny.
Looks to Gesh, looks to Liam. I beg to differ. What's fun about a gnome in a bag?
Liam smirks.
Looks to Liam.
Looks at Riordan speculatively. It's like sizing him up. Maybe.
Liam. You're staring again.
No.
Liam, have you
If
eaten
any of
today?
you ever need a surgeon, by the way, I don't think there's many paying customers here. Looks to the dead, scrivener's been scattered about.
Well, we are currently making our way with a rather large caravan through the Underdark. You are welcome to join us. I'm sure we would have use of your skills.
I have a contract going north, actually. There's a place there, something I must bring.
North? Where exactly are you going?
There's a north.
Where
I don't
north?
think you would know the provinces. I'm not sure what you mean.
North is very abstract. He
Other
wants a
than
location.
The abstract direction of north. Where are you going?
There is a recluse of a customer. He prefers to live alone, really. He requires me to find some exotic ingredients here. It's an ongoing problem I've been treating him for.
And who is he?
I'm sorry, but that must remain confidential. If you wish to meet him, I can introduce you. He is strange, but at least so far he has not been mad. If he was someday, that would truly be a shame for all of us.
Now, considering the situation and the fact that we can, or have in fact, saved you from an angry Durga mob, surely you would be more open with information that could potentially be relevant. As of right now, I consider everything north of this place to be very relevant indeed.
Why would that be?
Because, tell me.
The frowns.
What?
That is not a very convincing argument. I hope you understand, but I have my principles, and I do not like to stray from them.
Answer me this then: northeast or northwest?
I mean, northwest is the visitors section, is what they told us.
Makes a slight face. If you must know, it is past Lightenstone. I would visit there first, and then continue on.
Yeah, northeast. I don't care.
Wow.
Okay.
Very fresh.
Onwards, north, west, for.
Sure.
No.
Some Darrow over there. To look at them.
They're all crazy. Let's just carry on.
As you continue into this this area.
Yeah.
Just tell you what you see. You see what is pretty obviously drow architecture. Lots of spikes everywhere on a very high ceiling cavern here, sort of rimmed by these pillars here. Inside is a couple of big zergwood trees, whereupon strange, stony creatures with wings, gargoyles, you've seen similar things before, are sitting sort of watching down. The place generally looks pretty tranquil, especially from where you have recently been. In the middle, under a tree, sits what appears to be a drow, a wizard of some sort. He has a book with him, a component pouch. Half his face is burned off, likely from acid or fire. Behind him, you can barely make out the guards standing by a door engraved with spiders.
Right.
He's watching you, with sort of a slightly curious look. Perhaps you're the most interesting thing going on right
Well, Cirilla turns around and says, "That's the drow section. So perhaps the other bridge is a better way."
Well, we do have a contact in the drow area.
I don't want to see if they are friendly or not. I would rather assume they are not.
Well, me and Gesh could potentially walk up there. We don't have the provoking looks of the rest of you.
Sure.
If you want to go up there,
I would like to talk to our dude, although I forgot his name, so I don't even know who to ask for.
Dude, bro.
Dude, bro.
now. Hey, is my man home?
Yeah.
You know, the guy, my guy. Sure,
Yeah,
you know.
the guy.
My bro.
Also,
I've got it written down.
wait,
Describe
no,
his
this
look.
is not. This is not the base. Yeah, Gazrim Dulok supposedly works with the drow, so we should go there eventually.
I mean, eventually, but
Yeah, he definitely works with the drow. I could tell you that, even if you just asked me.
Yeah, I don't care about the drow right now.
No.
Go to the friendly quarter.
Sure, let's go to front quarter.
As you move this way, you see something that very obviously differs from the other stuff. Now, no longer drow architecture dominating the area. You see things that could really be from above. Pavilions, one big main one especially, have been raised here, and so does little banners with the Centaurum's logo upon them. The area seems to currently be without anyone observing it, though a door to the north has been covered with sort of a black coloring and a Centaurum symbol drawn upon it. It seems that there's no one out by the stalls currently.
No one at all?
Not currently, but there is the door to the north.
Okay.
Up here.
And what's this?
That is a mushroom patch.
Okay. Well, let's check out the door, shall we?
Just look inside. No one's in here, though it looks like it's the place where you would set up trades.
I guess trade is rather low, considering the Durga mob going outside.
Now, I have heard things about this place. These are the Centaurum. They have somewhat of a foul reputation.
No, we are very much aware.
It is hard to know with the drow and all, but At least there you know what you get. The Centauri have a reputation for working with all sorts of unsavory creatures. Strange things, and monsters even. They say everything is welcome here, but even that sometimes has its limits.
As long as they're not working together with demons, then you can accept the rest. Tolerate it, at least.
I said, well, I'm certainly not going to leave your company, so I suppose I will tolerate it as well. Oh, rather massive. There's a door hammer on it. Big iron handle.
Let's hammer the door.
The door is covered with disintegration.
As you do, you indeed hear like a vroom through the door that seems to suggest that it certainly is an enchanted piece of. Then the door is opened slightly, and within
A dragon is pointing right at the door.
you see several members of the Centaurum standing guard as if an honor guard, before looking at you, making a face, and then calling further in. It's not them, it's something else.
Did you just call me something?
I think he's calling you a Juragar. Or thought you were, at least.
A couple more thugs move by.
For that comment, I would like to request to speak with your boss to complain.
And who are you?
We are equal partners of the Centaurum here to ask questions about the situation and get secure lodgings.
You. So I just. That's true then. This compound is for the Centaurum only. If you would wait in the pavilion, I'll bring out someone for you to talk to. He seems more relaxed at your words.
Fine. Although I do have to ask, who were you expecting?
Should be obvious by now. The
Then
Drow have retreated to the Enclave. They're definitely discussing something. The safest course of action for them would be to speak to us. We were expecting them.
and obviously willing to accept the deal considering your formation.
Not just we have worked with the Drow before. This city functions because the Centaurum and the Drow have such a great relationship. This was before, matched by the Dwergar and this Rivneblin. Looks down there, slight smile. But that seems to have fallen apart.
And why exactly did you expect the Drow? What kind of deal were we going to make if you already had good relations?
He turns and walks to his boat.
Well, that is very rude.
Just goes to close the door.
That's the first time it's ever happened to you, Gesh.
I didn't quite care enough to make a bigger scene. But surely they are going to fetch at least one of their superiors, and we can squeeze him a bit.
Inside the pavilion, there is chairs, table, and such. It's needed for talk, certainly.
Is there anything under the table?
No, appears to be just, on the dark, like, cave floor.
I had to check. I had to check for terrified citizen Tiff Nevers, and they seem to be everywhere.
Mhm. Move. As out of the door comes a couple of guards. Just moving around, taking a look at things, and then comes something else that makes people sort of do a little yelping squeal. A
Behold.
big
Oh God.
head, seemingly massive teeth, jagged slightly inwards, each razor sharp, scalpel cutting through rock even as butter. In the center of it, a massive eye that with its gaze seems to make all your magical items, all your abilities hum and disappear. Around the central eye, many stalks exist, with smaller eyes, staring, twitching, each promising a doom worse than the last. The creature, however, seems to be old, very old. Scars covers it. Some of its eye stalks have even been cut or bitten and ripped a few times as it hovers out, staring at these newcomers. From behind it comes something of a man who puts it in contrast. Having a smile of a used car salesman, jovial and full of guile, walking in step as the beholder flows forward.
Oh, I like that guy.
You can see, well, Liam would probably see it because he's right beside him, but Raven's like stiff as a board right now.
Beholder lets out some strange words in, well, you're not really sure if it's a language or some sort of code phrase. As the man walks up, giving you a smile wider than the sun and quite bright, says, "Welcome, guests, to the Centaurum Enclave. I am Gastram Duloc, your host. What can I do for you?"
A proper reception, finally.
Die, villain, and then we attack, right?
I was almost thoroughly disappointed by your door guards dismissing us like common peasants, even though we are, I would hope, honored guests.
He
As
snaps
you
his
have
fingers.
said.
Can't have that. And from behind, the guards come out, now bearing a cask of some sort of drink and a few pillows for the chairs.
Oh boy, pillows.
He walks up. The beholders are lingering back here,
Yeah.
watching. Is better, I hope. The Centaurum is glad to have your business this day. He stretches. And what a fine day it is.
Yeah, Gash
What?
will.
You have me as at a disadvantage, sirs. What may I call you?
Gash will sort of telepathically.
Slinks away.
Gash will telepathically tell Riordan to calm yourself. We're going to squeeze these guys, and then you can do whatever, but not yet.
Oh, he knows.
Well, I for one can be called Gash, as it is my name, in fact.
I believe you know who I am already.
He shakes his head slightly.
And if not, then, well, my name is Jordan Heartspark.
He does a finger gun, like, and then looks to the rest of you.
Crosses his arms. I'm Liam.
Is that elves back there? Not a common sight here. Quite exotic things. Or
I would recommend you do not call my companions things. It is very, very rude to point out.
I apologize. Most elves that come here are on merchandise, you understand.
These ones, however, are not.
Roland
What
scowls.
might your names be?
Roland scowls deeply at the term of merchandise and just simply states out his name. Roland.
And Cyril will say, Lady Cyrilla Silthenray.
Excellent. How is the surface, if you've been there recently?
Right.
Warm.
Sometimes I miss it, sometimes I do. Might I offer you some of the memories we have from there? Warm bread, cask of Neverwinter ale.
Oh, you know what? Yes, you may.
Snaps his fingers. One of the goes and fetches some what seems to be bread, warm, and then some butter to smear on there for you. He goes to sit down himself. Sort of hovering behind him.
Now, I would like to address the elephant in the room immediately. As Gesh sort of glances over towards the beholder. What exactly is the hierarchy here? And who is
I am glad you asked. This, my esteemed guests, is Lorthun, ancient master of this place, I suppose you should say. He endeavored to go so far as to make it a trade post, and now he works with me. I am highly honored that he defers to me for most things.
Very interesting.
Now, what has brought you to my corner?
A number of things. The most pressing of which is we're looking for a way into the worm writhings to seek the thing that resides there. I'm sure you know what.
Purple worms. You don't need to go any further. I can tell you quite a lot of things about how to find them, track them, dig them out of their little holes.
And we would like to
That's
do
what
quite
you
the
seek?
opposite, actually. We would like to avoid them. I was told the Zentarum has a way into the worm writhings to seek the location that resides there. If, of course, you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm wasting my time.
The Centarum has secret paths to many things, residing in many places, dear guest. I think you need to be a little more specific, or I might speak the name of one you do not know.
I am on the lookout for a library supposed to reside in the worm writhings.
He leans back. I should have guessed. You do have the air of a scholar around you. I see one. I know one.
I'm sure you do.
I can get you there.
Not as famed as his brother, though.
A venomous stare back to Cyrilla.
Oh, he already found it, perhaps.
No, he did not.
Are you sure? You haven't seen him in a while.
Yes,
He's
I'm
very
sure.
good at his job.
Regardless, friends of the Centarum coming here. I understand you've already paid. I don't see any reason to delay then.
I see no reason either.
You see, I and the Centarum don't like the whole spiritual journey thing they've got going on there. So we have another way. Unless you really believe that the journey is worth something, in which case, I'm not your man to speak to, but I can give you vague directions.
God,
If you wish to skip all that in a few years and just gain the gratification of instant knowledge, well, as close as you can get at least, I might know the location of a teleportation circle that takes you right outside.
Well, that would be very convenient. I think
No need for worms, no need for writhings. Just know that Dulac's got you covered.
Oh God, where's it gonna
think
be?
That would be very convenient.
Now,
I think I've gotten my
before we
spiritual
continue,
journey already.
the name Heartspark, I recognize it. Little one, could you do me the favor of just telling me a little bit more of, you know,
Perhaps
you
we
seem to give
can
me this look.
we can delay the small talk to later, and let's get to the important things first. I'm sure we will return to the city where you two can get together and clear out all those skeletons in each other's closets or whatever.
Skeletons in a closet? Now that is a
Just-
long time ago,
Just
and I
one.
didn't think you were halfling then. No, that can't be it. Was it? He seems to really be digging through his memories. Hanspach, I know it has a meaning. Nobility? Yes, surely.
Certainly worked with you for sure.
Not. Wait. You have grown. She leans back. Now quite a lot. I did not know I was doing you a favor sending you down here.
A favor, you say, huh?
How things turn out. Looks at
Liam
you,
leans
somewhat
forward
astonished.
a little bit, looks at him, be very careful what you say to Locke.
Where's an eyebrow? Fagash.
Gesh sort of defensively puts up his arms, saying, I don't have anything to do with any of this.
Please, Riordan Hartsburg, have some bread. Neverwinter ale, eh? From your home.
Not really much of a home anymore after what happened, wouldn't you say?
Oh, please tell me. I sort of, left. Didn't really get to follow up ever.
No. I don't think you really deserve that kind of story, though.
Well,
I think between us working people, we can understand that a job's a job, right?
And let's just keep in mind that whatever happens here, a home is not going to stay a home if the world is overrun by demons because we didn't get to the library in time.
Riordan waves him off and says, yes, I know. But my question really is, you had a job for sure. But who told you to do it?
Who tells me to do whatever job I do? Just around the Centaurum, of course. Who else?
And you have absolutely no idea where the money exchanged hands, of course, right?
So money exchanges hands in many places, but I'd be a fool to rat out my clients. No, the Centaurum has their fingers in many things. It was back when, well, tell the truth, I was looking for new ventures, new venues. There was this promise of a library full of knowledge. Yes, quite worth it, I must say.
Yes, it seems the life.
Centaurum's price was easy enough to pay. You're here, so I suppose technically I got away without paying.
He's silent.
You found me, though. I suppose that handiwork worked out. Is that why you've come? Library with your friend, but really to find me? I should be honored, after all this time.
Sure, I could say it was my original purpose, but hardly going to get anywhere here right now, am I?
Sure, just let's talk. We're still waiting for the drow before any real events are gonna happen.
What is there to talk about?
Well, then I have business.
Well, to be honest, rather astonished you made it. I thought they would have sacrificed you by now for sure.
They tried.
Oh,
They failed.
and you've returned to the surface. Tucks in his long beard, shaking his head slightly. Well, how I would have liked to see that.
Maybe. I might write a book. Maybe I'll give you a free copy someday.
And says, that I would appreciate. Might just have to make one of my own and give you one. Scholar to scholar.
We'll see what the differences are.
No, it says, yes, quite. I'm pretty sure mine would have a lot of redacted chapters. He grins
I imagine so.
and a high rating.
All that money, sure. I'd expect so.
It is quite good, though money nowadays doesn't really mean what it used to.
No.
This, though, Mantol-Derith under my control, seems pretty smug about it. That is something I've wanted for a long time.
Well,
You
under
seem to move up
his
from feeling
control, right? As Gash will point to
controlling
the
a city.
beholder.
For any reason about this. Oh, Lord Thrun is with me.
Yeah, but it's quite obvious who is the real power here.
He shrugs. Yes, in Tarim, technically. We all work for the Black Network, don't we? How else would you be here? Irregardless, I'm rather flattered. If there's something I could do for you, little one, do tell. My job's done as far as I think. I got paid, and if you're working for the Centaurum now, well, they must forgive and let go, I suppose. They might come for me at some point, want to get me for not finishing the job, but to be honest, I think I did as well as I could. Given the circumstances, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. You never seemed much of an adventurer.
I wasn't until now.
Just that exactly is the point. I did a good job, though you survived it.
Survived is not the word I would use. I am not.
Be sure to make that mention to my boss when you see them.
Which is who exactly?
He sort of looks at you. Commandant, I really think there's something more we should talk about.
Seems you're leading the conversation, so feel free.
Says, well, my boss is a woman named Jazur. Would that have any connection to you? Ever met her? Uptight woman, sort of carries herself like she owns the place, no matter where she is.
Yes.
Did she by chance lead you here?
In a way. Indirectly, yes.
I suppose then that's sort of ironic, isn't it? Me being sent by her to take you out, you being sent by her to take me out. The winks. Seems like we're rather the same, you and I.
Well, my intention certainly was revenge initially, but feels quite petty now, don't you think?
It says, yes, I suppose it would. What's a dead
We're all-
boy between friends?
We're all going to die anyway if you don't help us, so
I wouldn't put
Says,
it
oh,
that
I'm going to help
strongly.
you. That is no question. You don't need to convince me. I'm just not ready yet. The drow will come here, we'll have a talk, and then we'll go do it. No problem. Really, no issue. You already paid.
Roar just gives him an empty smile.
Speaking of the drow, Ron calls.
You're welcome to stay here. The tents are free to use. There'll be food, drink, whatever you need. Once the drow have been here, we'll go and we'll send you off. You can read to your heart's delight. That doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Well, I think it sounds excellent.
Good. Wonderful. Any other questions?
Yes. I was out of character. My mic's been freaking out this entire time, so I've been trying to speak and it hasn't been working.
What's you? What is it?
On the topic of the drow, there is some information, some business of my own I would like.
Very well.
Because I am looking for some people. I'm looking for some people. The drow end up bringing through here like they're slaves.
Well, you'd want to speak to Zirak. She's the enclave mother of the place. Colleague, I suppose. She might not be too receptive to your questions, though. He sort of gestures up and down you.
From what I understand, though, the Zentarum know much, and it sounds like you know much about the city.
Yes, I do, most certainly. I'm not really big of a slave man, though. I don't really keep track of them. They come and go. Too many to recognize. You understand I've got more important stuff to do.
Ron has a frustrated look across his face.
Now, if you have descriptions and something, I can ask Lawthorn for you. He knows quite a bit of things.
I do.
The old mumbles, grumbling sounds. Maybe he understands the whole conversation.
I have quite detailed descriptions and similar of the individuals. At least the last time I saw them, which, well, he pauses and thinks.
He gestures to you.
So he just wants me to just read them all out towards law firm.
I mean, sure. Or you can simply say that you do it.
As Roland briefly pulls out one of his journals, one of his many. Actually, this one in particular would have been the first journal he had at purchasing, and from some of the very first pages in it, and goes with his detailed memory, starts listing off the names of 6 individuals and rather detailed descriptions for each of them. The first one in question being a elf, he seems to describe. A tall and frail mage. A sun elf mage, as well as naming off six humans of varying ages. 2 of which in their 30s or 40s. 2 in their late teens, and 1 that's a bit younger than that. In rather strong detail. As well as the names of each of them.
Phone hovers. Looking at Roland. Before it speaks again, it's weird language. As we're looking to it, says, yes, those were taken to Mensabaranzan. The man, old, magical fellow, yes, quite a stir. Agreed to work in chance to keep the others alive.
Sounds like Celeron. Would he happen to know who they're working for?
Not yet. They weren't sold here, simply brought through. They were most likely sold in slave markets in Ransom. I can't imagine they would be sacrificed. Magics are usually more important than that, like house guard or pleasure slaves. So gestures his hand around. Whichever they fancy, I suppose. The drow, that is.
The one mercy they have of being a sorceress family.
No one says yes. Most that come here wouldn't be them. Then again, I wouldn't want to be any type of slave, really. I'm sure we can all agree. He sort of gives Riordan an apologetic shrug.
He's just shaking his head slightly.
Other than that, well, Ron thinks to himself, I suppose it's at least something to know where they were sent, though. This still isn't the best lead for me.
I'm sure you could figure more out if you spoke to the drow, though. Again, most of them would not like your advice. I don't mind it. They wouldn't.
Ron peers over. I don't see that going too well.
They won't kill you on sight, most likely. You could always try talking to them. Who knows, right?
Yes, who knows?
He winks. He thinks he knows.
Roland seems tense.
He takes a big swig of his winter ale, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. Just delicious, you know? Sometimes I miss it. Just the foam, the sea. Looks to Riordan and says, you know, I was almost considering going back there for a holiday. Now I'm not so sure.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should, though if the plan has worked, I doubt they'd be too happy about me. Thought it would work for sure.
You'll give him a proper smile this time and say, I don't know about that.
Just paid to get rid of you. In a way that seemed like you'd done it yourself, really.
Indeed. Didn't really work.
And that it did not. I underestimated you, I suppose. You can understand why, though. I mean, looking back, it seemed like a good plan. Didn't it?
Luck has many facets to it.
I suppose I was a bit sloppy. Should have done the deed myself, but then again, would not really seem that accidental.
It could have worked. I can agree to that, but
No, exactly. It's not my fault.
I wouldn't go to that stretch of the imagination. You did the deed. That is guilt enough.
No, so I just suppose.
You needn't worry. I don't feel like giving you the time of day to act upon it.
This is very well. I appreciate that, you know.
Fortunate you didn't give the same mercy, but
You clearly aren't paid to kill me.
I wouldn't need to be.
Yeah, I would do it for free in your case.
Yeah. Have I met you before? I think I would remember you.
Looks
I always
at
was bad with faces, you see? So many of them. Changing all the time.
He just looks at him and says, no, but I've heard a lot of you.
I wouldn't worry. Your job is done, so far as you're concerned.
You know, just, yes. Now I just need to rule this place. Then I'll live in greatness while sending you off to a library. Quite the extensive thing. Visited myself. Path is as safe as it gets. There is the matter of the basilisk, but he's friendly enough, really.
What exactly is in the library, other than the obvious?
Tomes upon tomes. I suppose that's obvious. There's also shadows, like if you're in the library, or ever will be, you'll be there.
Oh.
That means that if you're in there, well, someone could already have seen you in the past. Place is big, though. Allegedly, everything that's ever happened and will ever happen is in there. You could, ideally, I suppose, with enough time, find the answers to any question.
So why, if I may be so bold as to ask such a question, isn't the Zentarum all over that thing?
It just takes forever. And there really is less money in it than you would expect. I mean, we are in it insofar as sending you. I imagine whatever you paid, it's quite a handsome fee.
You could say that.
A few lives, you would say.
You know, just a few. I suppose you got off easy. Then again, who is to say what the network has in mind? He leans back and sighs. We're all just pawns in their games. But we can be well paid pawns.
Now, I have one more question for Lawful directly, perhaps, although it is a bit of a long shot.
Eyes turns to you.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure beholders are fairly rare in even these parts, and the fact of the matter is, about, well, a few months ago at least at this point, we met another beholder, much smaller and apparently just having woken up from some sort of sleep, who was looking for someone, his master or whatever. We still haven't figured out what that was all about. I don't suppose you know what I'm talking about or have any insight.
The eye narrows for a moment. And then he looks to Gasham, who looks at Gash a little startled and says, "Oh, that's not a topic you should speak of here, I don't think. Lawful doesn't like whatever you said."
Well, I apologize then, but I didn't know better.
You know, yeah, I think he gets it. Mr. Lawful, just, again, the big eyes look at you.
So it's that kind of topic where even the slightest hint of an answer would be too much.
Armstrong says, "Eno was a talkative one. Well, maybe he was, but not anymore. He mostly just devours and melts." Gestures to him. Nowadays, he lets me do the talking most of the time. There are creatures out there, you see, who were not big fans of his kind. Judge him for, well, pretty much everything he is, I suppose. And not kindly.
Yes, stereotypes are hard to get rid of.
Someone who would call themselves his master, well, not a good topic, really. Speak his name and he may appear, as it were.
All right.
Sort of creeps up behind Cash and sort of just pats him on the back to let him know that he has something on his mind.
Well, what is it? Or should we speak later?
He nods.
All right.
Unless you have something else to discuss, I believe our business is done. Unless we need to speak with
Yeah,
you.
Very well. I'll get back to preparing your thing then.
Yes.
If the drow arrive, don't be in their way. Just let them go here. They know where we are. He bows and says, "I have been your guest from Dulak." You should like almost a seducing wink. "You've been my guests. Thank you for visiting." With quite a swagger. Return.
Liam looks over to Riordan with a like,
Guards fall.
you're fine with him letting him go sort of look at his eyes.
Reardon just kind of. He frowns for a bit. It's as if he's trying to laugh and cry at the same time. And then he just says, he's pathetic.
Yes, we'll get him one day when the world is not,
It's fine. The
Sick.
world will get him for me. He is destined to doom himself.
looks after him. Perhaps I might make sure of it one day though.
Maybe. Could possibly take care of my aunt first. She's the real culprit.
Can do that
Supposed
too.
aunt, would say.
I offered.
Yes, maybe a career in assassination wouldn't be so bad after all of this is over.
Yes, maybe I should have taken your offer at first, but
Well, that's the good thing about this. We can always change our mind. The other way around is more difficult.
true.
Ron is staring over towards the drow quarter.
Also, Riordan, if you would sleep better knowing that your aunt didn't sleep well, something can be arranged.
Yes.
Very
We
smart.
Figure
have.
Butcher likes that. Figure Butcher's
we-
happy with that.
I think we can both arrange that, Gesh.
He licks his dragon lips.
Oh,
Besides, I'd rather avenge his death by building a great legacy rather than petty revenge of whoever this guy is.
Liam scratches his shin. He says, well, you're a bigger man than me then.
I wasn't before, that's for sure. He thought he could turn me into an adventurer that would die down here, but that was his own mistake.
well, some would argue that much worse things have happened to you down here.
Feels normal to me now, Gesh.
That is worrying.
Indeed. We have more pressing concerns.
Like saving the world, indeed.
Yes.
Which I am honestly quite worried about. I
I
plays
thought
off.
you'd be relieved. We have such an
I
easy way to the library now. This is what you've always wanted.
Yes, but it's not only easy, it has been visited plenty of times before by the Zentarum and other random people of all things.
And if
So
they
if
had...
there's...
Yes, I understand. However, perhaps you have the insight that nobody else has.
Liam, still scratching his chin, says, I'm a bit perturbed that the library seems to just be a sort of a walk-in affair.
That
That,
is my
that,
point exactly.
that everyone seems to just have sort of taken a trip to. I mean,
You know, maybe they're not visiting the real representation of the library, so to speak.
I suppose that our urgency and desperation is great. Maybe the library responds to that type of things. I've heard of it
Zentarum
happening.
are certainly not people to have urgent need or want. They take what they can get.
Well, there's only one way to find out what the library can provide. But Peebles, you were wanting to say something?
It is Zazax,
What?
the eyemonger.
What?
You know,
Could you extrapolate?
looks a little exasperated. The question you asked him, he did not answer.
Oh. And who exactly is that?
He's another of their kind. Bigger than this one anyway. He rather loathed his own kind, and well, it is said that should one find one, if that thing is killed, he will grant a wish.
Oh, really?
You know, it's-
Short!
one needs just to bring the eyes to show proof. Then a wish can be granted. It is somewhat known as a fool's errand, though, as each of these creatures are rather powerful.
Sounds potentially very profitable, though.
Zyvex is known to be, well, a massive being of massive power, but also old enough that he doesn't really care about anyone but this one thing. If you wish to save the Underdark, perhaps a wish could help.
Perhaps as a plan B.
Though I don't know how many times you would find one of these things that seems to already be somewhat hurt.
Well, for now, we sort of need the Zentarum to lead us to the library at the time. But for now, no killing.
You know, just Well, it's not like I was going to do it.
You don't seem opposed to the idea either.
It's an evil monster.
It hasn't shown itself to be evil. It is merely associated with people who you think have evil motives, which is a thing I could agree with. These entire aren't the nicest people, but it is not entirely just to judge something just by what it is.
I mean,
Because,
Gesh is right.
You really are not used to being down here, are you?
It does look like a paragon of virtue when you look at it.
I did not say it was a paragon of virtue. I just said that maybe it had no choice but to work with this entire.
Nah, I don't buy it.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
No, I'm
And
judging
so
a
you would
monster by its scars and hideousness.
potentially doom the world by not taking opportunity of the wish you could be granted by taking it out. If it was truly a virtuous creature, would it not want you to?
Either way, we are not going to attack this entire room until after they've led us to the library. All right. How long have we known each other, Peebles?
Well,
Like
just
30 minutes?
at least.
I feel like you're overstepping your boundaries here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do that. I'm rather used to being in people's guts, as you understand.
That's fine, I suppose.
Well, if it promotes
Very
insanity,
hands-on, so
then continue.
I like peoples.
you'll step back, like, after you. I'm just here to follow. Mumbling to himself about, he's sad he was so forward, but he was just trying to be helpful.
I'm just saying that sometimes if you assume something is evil, it has no choice but to be evil. So don't.
He doesn't argue with you. He just sort of looks to the rest of you, whatever you say.
Guess is super evil.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you guys.
Now he has no choice but to kill all of you.
Aaron just winks at Gesh.
Well, in the hypothetical situation that there's an object of unimaginable power in the library, would you trust me to do the right thing with it? Because if you would not trust me, then this entire exercise is pointless because you would attempt to stop me, even though I am in fact trying to do the right thing. Do you see the conundrum here?
I mean, we
Well-
have no choice here. That's the thing. We're following your dream vision.
If we did have a choice.
A dream vision that I've already told you about, about a year ago, which now coincidentally, or well, for the obvious reason, has aligned with the mission we've been sent on by Gondelgrim to save the world. Hence, further supporting my point that I am in fact trying to save the world. So your doubting of myself is very, very rude.
No, I mean, I'm sure you're trying.
Great.
Let me just say this, Gesh. When we faced Jubilex, you didn't run away. You tried to help us. Even facing certain death, I would believe that is the most evidence you could ever give.
The death was, in retrospect, neither certain nor was my help effective, so that doesn't really mean much.
Regardless, your intentions at the time.
Attempt was made.
The result doesn't diminish the intent. Gesh. You tried your best, and we all did.
Well, let's stop worrying about this and what
Save the world. Yes?
I was about to say get going, but I guess all we have to do is wait.
Gash,
Yes.
Yes.
Red will scoot a bit over and sit down.
yeah, Roland looks over from he's staring at the drow area towards Gash. How's your silver tongue?
It's present. I have yet seen, or rather not seen, any reason to do much with it, because most people I don't care about, and the others, it doesn't seem to matter. What exactly do you want?
I still want more information
About what exactly?
for the people I'm here to find. And as it turns out, if I have to go for the drow to get it, well, I don't see this is going to be particularly well.
Well,
You, on the other hand,
I, on the other hand, have the ability to ask questions. That is true.
and not be
Let's
shot in the sight.
let's try something then. You are, in fact, yourself, I suppose, and are looking for a set of slaves to purchase. And anyone who helps you on your quest will be rewarded exquisitely. Or do you want to just straight up just ask them about your real intentions?
Honestly, I'd prefer the drow. I prefer it actually being kept more distance in some regard, I suppose. For the reason that, well, I have a feeling the drow knew. Help, they can use that. They can use it more leverage.
How about we simply ask the drow to fetch us the person who we already know and owes us, among other things, his life? Who, in
Sounds good to
fact,
me,
has
guys.
helped us in the past. So maybe you don't need my silver tongue at all and can just ask him straight up.
Roland sighs and gives a bit of a shrug. If he can get us the information, the better. But I need some clue to work off. Having nothing is going to be. He just let out another sigh.
I do have a feeling that if we just wait here, we'll see him eventually. He seems the kind of person who would rise the ranks quickly and likely be involved in this deal. Although I'm still not entirely sure what this deal is all about. Not that it should matter to us, I suppose.
Something about their safety, I believe I heard.
Well, if they're going to Mantol-Derith, their safety seems to be a problem.
Well, if you want to ask the drow about more information, then I suppose we can, or we can just wait and see what happens, and then ask them.
Point is, I want more information before we leave them.
Sorry, what did you say?
Either way, I want more information before we leave here. I don't care if we want to wait for them first or after, but I want it.
Considering I do want to know more about this deal, I think we should ask them now rather than later.
All right, go ask for our boy, our guy.
All right. What was his name again? Yorlin Diskin. I think that was him. Yorlin sounds familiar.
He let us out, and also he let us go. I guess we let each other go. Prison area.
Yorlan Diskin.
Yes.
Does Roland want to follow, or is he just going to give a description of the people and such to get
Well, I think he's waiting for you to get him out
Yeah,
here, because otherwise he's going to be shot on
if-
sight.
Yeah, Roland doesn't want to go over there, but what he can do, he can give Gesh the very detailed page from his journal with a full description and names for each of them.
All right.
Which that will work for him. But Roland doesn't want to go close to the drow where he's going to cause stir up situations.
And one of them is working in I forget the town name, sorry.
Mantol-Derith?
Yeah. And he is working there to assure the safety of the others, which are somewhere else, basically, right?
We don't know where the others are, but
yeah, I'm assuming they're alive. All right.
it sounds like
all
it.
right. Well,
Looks like progress.
Gesh will saunter over in the rough direction of the drow camp, putting on his friendly face. Sort of-
As he does, he sees some of the gargoyles on top of the cliff sort of look down at him just instantly as he comes close, ready to pounce as the two drow by the door draw their blades, speaking in drow to one another. One of them quickly knocking on the door behind him. As the person with the burned face sort of stands up and sort of like holds up a hand and like walks Gesh's direction, just gesture him for him to like step back
All right.
more.
How far? How far exactly?
There. At this point, he sort of walks up and says something in Drow.
Great.
Gesh will. I mean, I don't want to use telepathy to freak out these guys, but he'll say in common, "How about you get someone who can speak common so that we can communicate properly?"
I'm
Frowns
fine.
at Gesh.
If he doesn't know, I know Elvish. If you want me to come up and help you.
Common is not properly.
It's a fair point, but since I would like to discuss something with you, it seems only obvious that you would try to accommodate me.
Seems obvious that you would speak my language when you approach us.
Well, as it turns out, it would be easier for you to find someone who can speak common rather than for me to learn an entirely new language now, wouldn't it?
He shrugs.
Just ask who you're looking for. I'm sure he'll perk up
Yeah.
eventually.
How about you fetch a specific person, in fact? I'm looking for Yolan Diskin.
Sir Francis says, not your errand boy.
Well,
Gods will kill you if you walk close. I can help, but you're a very rude dragon.
well, I don't really intend to mean any offense. I'm merely on edge in this unfamiliar city. Now, how about we restart this conversation? And I, in advance, apologize for not speaking your language. But it would be beneficial for all of us if you somehow, whether you fetch him or you find someone else to fetch him, somehow, get me Yolan Diskin, as I obviously cannot look for him myself. Please?
I can teach you.
All right.
You could teach me Undercommon.
He nods.
Wouldn't that take a very long time?
He nods.
I'm a quick learner, but that seems rather...
Few years to speak well enough.
Oh boy.
Short span, really.
In his eyes, yeah.
I mean, Gesh doesn't have that. He's old. He's getting 1 foot to the grave at this point.
Not really good enough. Search for words. Need to speak.
Well, obviously, we're at an impasse here. So I will be right back.
He nods me to get the point.
Yes, would you like me to come help you?
Roland, do you think we would get the information from the Drow if we killed all of them?
No.
Great. In that case,
Unless you think Drow kept exclusive, extensive records for last year.
I don't think so.
What was the issue, Gesh?
The issue is that it's very hard to convince people to do what I want if they refuse to speak my language. Or if they consider what I'm speaking to be utterly childish.
Rodden looks to both Surla and Roland and asks, would it be an offense to speak Elvish to a Drow?
Probably.
I don't know Undercommon.
I mean,
Wait.
As far as aware, Drow is usually like a combination, basically.
Doesn't
Yeah.
people speak Undercommon? Can we ask him to help us?
Oh, he nods. Yes, but I'm terrified of Drow.
I mean,
I
speaking
mean,
Elven,
look at him. He's all burned.
speaking Elven,
I really should have someone look at that.
Cyrilla will say, well, if you give me 10 minutes, then I can do the same thing that let you speak to The guys in Gauntlgrim. You know, the ones made of metal.
Yes, that sounds good.
Maybe we should just, offer them some food, have a banquet out here.
I think that's a
Don't
great
discuss
idea.
that.
Yeah.
I think you should rest first.
He looks like, really? I don't know the customs of the service, but I don't know that the drow would take you up on that offer.
Who can resist food, eh, Cirilla?
Well, you certainly shouldn't, Liam. You should eat.
I have eaten.
No, but you look a bit famished, really. I think you should eat a little bit more.
As a surgeon, I would say he looks at a top condition, actually.
Shut up. You're not a cleric of life itself, you stupid surgeon.
Sits up a little bit straighter and says, "Yes, listen to the good doctor."
He looks, no offense, I'll be over here.
No, you sit here.
No.
You tell
You eat.
you tell the crazy lady.
What a perfect specimen I am.
Yeah. Describe again how amazing I am, please.
Well, from a cursory glance, it appears that you are neither pale, which is a good thing down here, or a really lack of anything. Your physical performance also seems to be very well, though I have not, of course, had the chance to study you under control conditions.
That's
Well,
getting back to the matter at
Liam
hand.
looks around for a tent where he can study the full conditions.
Wow.
Because
Alright,
they need to
never
be
mind.
studied.
My God.
What?
On a real note,
Well,
I mean, we apparently listen, guys. We are apparently not killing the people we came here to kill, and we can't talk to these people for a few years. So
We can. Cirilla
No,
just said that she can do it.
We cannot, because if we used magic to speak to them, that would break the rules of the city.
Oh, duh, yeah.
does it? Oh.
Yeah, it does. Well, if we can somehow convince Mr. Newlands to come with us. If we all came with him, would he be fine with it?
Yes, let us march our small army up to the drow and Doja. I'm sure they would be delighted.
they do understand overwhelming force and violence. So
Okay.
maybe that helps.
Ugh,
If I
what?
came with humans, would it be okay with me coming with them?
I mean, if you really want me to tell him something, I can do that, but I don't like going in there.
Oh, you won't go in there. You're just asking for a certain person, that's all.
Oh, sure.
I guess we'll
Listen,
give him-
stay here. Let me try something else, and if it goes wrong, you're not that far away.
People's nods. He's more than happy to do that.
As
Yeah,
Geshwal,
Mage is currently like standing as if impatiently, like looking at the ceiling and tapping his foot.
What is this guy
as
doing?
Geshwal once again approach him, but his demeanor slightly different. No longer trying to not draw up his 2-meter size. Looking thoroughly angry, as he will say, "Listen, I've been trying to do this the polite way, and obviously you can understand me, so you better listen. You will fetch me this Yorlin, or you will have made an enemy in this city that you do not want."
Do an intimidate check.
Oh no.
There's a disadvantage given the situation.
Disadvantage, alright. That's a 1.
He raises an eyebrow and spreads his hands out like, "Come at me."
No.
Then he takes a step back into the sphere of the gargoyles and guards.
There's also
Well,
mine. Wasn't it the whole field like you attack a drow, you disintegrate?
I'm not going to attack him, I'm just going to be frustrated. Alright, that didn't work.
Also, he's
Yeah,
not.
you hear a slight laugh as you leave.
Okay, sorry. So we have to speak to them in
He seems
Undercommon?
thoroughly amused at all your antics now.
I mean, you could use like Elven would be a language at least they'd probably understand.
Yeah.
You know what? Cirilla's just going to say, it will stand up and say, screw all this fanning about. Let's go, Gesh.
Try to find out. No, find out his name for me so I can come back later.
She like glares at him and says, I don't think I'm going to be going close to the drow alone.
He's not going to attack you against the walls of the city, and they are not going to break those.
Come, Cirilla. Let's go.
She like rolls her eyes and walks over.
Druid. enchanting presence will keep him quiet.
Roland can just sigh and actually approach a little bit closer as well.
Raise an eyebrow. Cirilla, nodding to himself. Elvin will say, "So it's your turn now. Interesting."
She nods and says, I can't lie when I say that I didn't particularly want to speak to you and your kin, but we are...
Self-history. I understand.
She nods and says, but we are looking for a acquaintance of ours. A Yolan Diskin?
He nods. I know him.
Would it be possible at all to speak to him?
Would he want to speak to you?
She shrugs and says, I hope so. But I can't speak for a person that I haven't seen in a while. And I wouldn't want to presume, of course.
Maybe
I could
saved his life.
Take you inside if you'd like. He gestures to the door.
I feel like this is like a trap.
What
The
do you
guards
think?
won't hurt you if you are in company with one of us.
Okay. Are you certain about that?
He's a
He nods.
drow, like,
Everything that's holy. Yes, he can trust
uh-huh.
I can understand that they might not attack me, but I'm sure you can understand if I'm trepidatious about going into a place filled with... which, unfortunately, are technically my ancestral enemies?
Yeah.
That is, oh, definitely. Most of them would take very great joy in gutting you.
And I them. So, it would be
Yeah.
beneficial to us all, really, if I could see him out here, maybe.
What would you want from him?
I would imagine if he realized that we missed him, and he would be disappointed he didn't get a chance to speak to us. I feel like we have some business to resolve.
Just, of course, I'm not going to deny business, though I feel like he would rather meet in the Enclave. Business is best taken care of in safe places.
I
Out
think
here, you don't know what's happening. Points down there to the south.
Cyril nods and says, but I think you can agree that you and yours are quite safe beyond this barrier. She gestures.
They're not really mine as such. I'm just visiting. Otherwise, I would be inside.
She nods and says, well, I'm sure you can agree that everyone that is a drow and or friend of drow is safe on that side of your perimeter. Or the
Exactly.
perimeter. So I think that you would be quite... that you would be in a better position and a safer position than we are out here. No? I think you are much safer
If you
than
don't
we
want
are.
to meet him, that's fine.
Can I go by myself?
No. Because if you're going to go by your...
Take you just fine.
No, then Cirilla would want to go.
Roland will go in at the same time. Would not let you all go in.
Look, the way it is, either he's not, or we go in. That's just the way it is.
See, it'd be in these moments where I'd save the game.
Or, you know, we slaughter him for his impertinence.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but then they are, all the drow are gonna attack
Shall I
us, and
remind
then
you of the fact that
Yasha was like,
basically-
"Oh, what did you do? We had a deal,
Yeah,
and then he
let's-
didn't help us."
No,
so-
no. Remember, he says he's a visitor. Doesn't belong here.
Also, you can't kill,
Still-
otherwise we die.
yeah, I still feel like they will be pissed if we just kill him.
We have already ruined our chances of diplomacy. We just have to go and deal with it.
Yeah.
If you go in there alone, you will be sold into slavery, and
Well, then why don't you come with me then?
because if we
Manikai,
go in there, we will kill them.
Manikai, if Gesh knocks at the Zentan door, does he get a response?
Sure. One of the thugs will ask him what he needs.
Well, fetch the log for me, will you?
Master Delug is busy. I'll bring a message.
Sure. Ask him how much it would cost for him to organize bringing that drow over there to our tent for a private discussion.
Disappear.
Very good. I like having people.
And he'll return and look at the drow and then disappear again. And then he'll return and say that that they're currently unable to force the issue. However, when the drow come to speak, it should be able to be arranged.
Would be
Wish
most
to-
excellent.
wish to
Yes.
purchase him.
He has been thoroughly rude and needs to be disciplined.
Tell Delug to bring it up with the drow.
Good. Very good.
Well, I guess we're winning.
Yeah.
Bjorn will bow and apologize profusely to this drow for wasting his time. And
He'll just smile and say that you have not wasted time. You have been a great amusement in this boring time.
that could be a service.
Go fetch your guy.
Oh. Really?
Did you just say that he'd
Did I
go and fetch our guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've just been making fool of yourselves for like a half hour in front of this guy.
I mean,
He walks out, and following him is a face you recognize. Goes back and does a slight gesture to you before going back and sitting on his bench. As Jolan walks up to you, looking at you. First, it's sort of a mix of emotions. First, a little frustrated, then a surprised, then a little scared, and then a slight smile. She looks back, walks to you. What are you all doing here? I thought this was. You did. That you did. I suppose I said I would help you when I had the chance, so. How can I help you?
What's your cue, Roland?
One second, actually. One second. There's really annoying outside. Noisy out. There's a plane going over overhead. Sorry.
No worries.
Roland. I remember a while back I asked if I was asking around trying to find some people. You may not remember.
I remembered, yes.
Well,
They are taken to Mantol-Derith.
well, that's good. That's good information. But I need more than that. I need to know who brought them there. Something else to follow.
He nods. Looks at you. Looks back. Says, "The one on the bench. He knows." I thought you had been introduced.
Well, I tried to introduce myself, and he proceeded to be a thorough pain, to say the least.
Yes, he has not handled surfacers for a long time. Many drow from Mensaperances do not, on principle, speak the languages of the surface.
Is he important to anyone?
Sort of Ronald looks back and says, suppose so. Though not to us. He came here, he often travels back and forth.
What does he do?
Sort of shrugs and says, he knows the paths. As I understand it, he leads people from here to Mensaperanzan. He knows the way in. He is, I suppose, what you would call on the surface a smuggler.
I see.
Roland just looks exceptionally frustrated right now.
Yes, Roland. Mensaperanzan. They were taken, bought, I assume, there. Like so many others. Given the magical nature of them, I can only imagine they're still alive. Maybe broken. A life as a slave is not. It changes you. Perhaps it would be better to consider them dead.
I will find them.
Not slightly. Suppose you will. I cannot help you any further, though. You haven't been to a long time.
Sigh.
Do you know what's going on down south?
Down south?
Gestures over the trench.
Oh, we were told the Swerve
Haven't,
Neblin stole something from the Durga, a gem of some sort.
That's the same I've been told. I'm not sure what or why.
We aren't exactly sure either, but we've so far decided to keep out of it.
Whatever it is, if you could manage to find it, I would buy it off you. Whatever it is, it must be valuable. Otherwise, it would be such a skirmish.
But who knows where this thing even is? If it was stolen, it might be out of the city already. Or do you have reason to believe otherwise?
Because it hasn't been going on for that long, really. I have no idea what it is, but sort of lowers his voice. Whatever I can do to impress people here would really help me help you, you know?
I understand. Perhaps we can investigate. Now, what
Yes.
exactly do the Drow intend to deal with the Zentarum? As I understood, you already had great relations, so what is being formalized here?
I'm not really high up enough to get told much, being new and all, but what I've gathered, we are really the two strongest enclaves in terms of power. We have allied together, often gotten our way, so to speak. But if we take over this place entirely, whatever merchants will come will, well, pay their tithe only to us, not to the other two. I think it's simply a chance to seize power entirely. Share the place between two people instead of four.
All right. Seems harmless enough.
Shrugs. It should be expected. If I got a decent position here, I mean, who knows? There might be less tithe for you. Try. That would be to everyone's benefit, no?
Well, technically not to everyone's benefit.
There will be care about.
Potentially, but I don't really care enough about this place to form an opinion. We have bigger things to worry about.
No. Well, I think the meeting is going to be just tomorrow evening. As far as I can gather, that's when they're done meeting. Whatever deal they have is going to be formalized there. Then I suppose we'll go and just rocks. I really don't know. Keep guarding this place, making a living. Rubs the big scar on his face. You know, I'm still not sure if I should have freed you back then. It's hard to say if I'm in a better position now.
Too late to change it.
I think back then you made an excellent decision, one that you will inevitably stop regretting. And I do have to say this is a rather touchy topic to bring up, considering that you are basically arguing that maybe we should have stayed slaves, maybe we should have been sacrificed. I really do not want to get irritated, you understand?
You know, it's just. I was not meaning to argue that. It was from a more pragmatic point of view.
I can respect someone thinking in a
From where we're
pragmatic
standing
manner.
here, you somewhat got it better than I do from that. So. You from slaves now standing here, making people fetch me for you. Me from being one of the two most esteemed guards, being the new guy at an exiled outpost.
Well, let's wait a day or two and see if your situation changes, shall we?
You know, it sounds like a good plan. If there's anything else, then I might be able to know more if I had a bit more clout. Right, sort of. Mostly can listen to what other people are talking.
We'll see about that.
Anything else then?
Not from me, I think.
Roland looks unsatisfied, but clearly doesn't know. He doesn't know how to push forward here diplomatically.
I have no questions for you.
You know this. Oh.
Liam waves from the table.
He gives Leon a slight smile, though it doesn't seem like he wants really to do too much stuff. He has his back to the other drow. He doesn't want to out himself.
Oh, sure.
So he just gives Liam a slight wink, and then turns, and his face, as he turns into like a haughty frown. See.
Oh, I guess we'll turn around in a haughty and dissatisfied way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, look angry and upset. The sort of a why I never.
Yeah.
Good day to you, sir.
You know, sometimes I regret how restricted I've made myself. It would be so easy to just do the whole thing about asking for a little bit more power to really, really have the possibility of.
Or you could just be nice, Gash.
Look what that got me. It got me ridiculed by a drow.
I don't think that was quite nice. You were very demanding.
Liam smiles slightly.
And I'm the ancestral enemy, and I was invited in.
I mean, they were going to torch you.
Oh, of course.
But still, we got further.
Yep. Better than shunned at the door, I think.
Yeah. But laughed at.
I don't know. If I had to choose between ridicule and torture, I would probably choose ridicule, honestly.
Well, we weren't tortured, were we? Hmm?
I mean,
Not for me,
you
though,
were.
that would actually kill you.
I mean, you weren't stupid enough to go inside, so.
Oh God, no.
No.
That would be idiotic.
Horrible.
He picks his teeth like a splinter he's pulled from the table. Looks around. Sighs deeply. So, we're sleeping here until tomorrow then.
It was like we gotta wait. Fancy Pants Duloc gets his head around the steel of his and helps us out.
He grunts.
So
That man has survived is a miracle on itself.
He was not.
Instead of
I
me.
didn't like the look of him.
I didn't like any aspect of it.
No.
So I agree.
The reason that, like, or the sheer fact that no one has snapped his neck is astonishing to me.
Well, when you have a beholder around you, that basically makes people useless around you.
You have rather good tastes in neck snapping too.
Liam looks down to him and says, "Why, thank you, Doctor. That is very nice of you to say." Looks pointedly over to Gesh.
What?
I've good instincts. Nods.
now,
I'm sure you do.
Very smugly.
I'm sure you do. I haven't seen them yet.
The Centauri are known for being slavers and murderers and general bad ilk. I see no reason not to take this chance to remove them.
We need them for now.
It would be against the law, as you say, wouldn't it?
All of them are breaking the law.
But they're not being seen.
I mean, Liam looks down to the calamity and
They
like
trashed the whole market.
like the genocide that's going down south.
I mean,
I don't think that was
it was
against the
enacted
rules.
Sentence.
I don't
That's
know.
not against the rules itself.
Besides,
making the
what
rules?
rules are there if we take care of them?
That's true.
I don't have much ability to help, of course, but you all seem like a very capable group.
I'm sure we can get out of here without killing anybody quite soon if we just wait.
A
Hmm.
few thugs.
I mean, yeah, but maybe it's better to kill.
I'm not misguided about our prowess. Believe me. I just think, I'd rather get out of here without any hassle, please.
Liam sighs again. Yeah, maybe.
Just imagine the kind of stuff they have in there.
Well, I mean, if we decide to do so, we can wait until we're all inside and go. But then we'll get disintegrated by whatever force field weird trap thingy they have. So,
Oh no, only the outside doors have that.
well, yes. Okay. I'm sure there's something
This
else.
one's probably just really hard to open.
Well, I think we're all looking at the wrong problem here. I think that we should all really focus on you guys eating a bit more.
Flump.
Well, I've gotten a little bit hungry.
I see. You're not gonna eat properly, and in a
The
few
bread was
days.
supposed- It's so crusty.
It's good for you though, full of nutrients.
It's edible.
You should have my share.
No, I think you should eat it.
Peoples will take a bowl of whatever gruel it is. We'll have a bowl. I really lost most of my food down there. Should have done some more. I suppose they searched it, but they also split it through everything, threw it away. Now, if that's not stealing, I don't know what is. Apparently, it's okay when they do it.
They're the
You
ones.
know, that's always how it goes.
Generally, yes. I was about to say.
They're the ones with the big pointy things that go into flesh easily.
No, maybe I should have gotten a different career.
All ever uses. Oh, seems like we're resting here then. Close.
The place is fairly comfortable, really, for the Underdark. You can take a full rest.
Sure, let's take a full rest.
Or whatever you might need for the morning.
I don't know what I need. The first social skill check I got to make in
Wow.
about 20 sessions. I rolled a like
That's
2 and a
natural.
1.
The streak is broken.
It's rough.
I don't even know what I am anymore.
Just looking like blank stare straight ahead, like
You
what
just need a
am
bit
I?
of luck, guys. You know, it's fine.
Yeah, you weren't warmed up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
the
need
look
some
that you
inspiration.
imagine me currently having is probably the look that Gash has whenever nobody's looking.
Oh, poor
Things are
Gash.
not going his way these days. The library is
Oh.
apparently just like some equivalent to a fast food restaurant where just
Yeah.
everyone walks in.
Everyone just gets up the big book Mac and leaves. Yeah, like the fact that this library is just a place people go to for fun seems disconcerting.
It supposedly like has everything that has ever happened and will ever happen in it, but why isn't that a big deal?
But maybe it's because it's also like a fast food thing. Like McDonald's is like world's greatest hamburgers, and you're like, no, it really isn't. That's just a slogan. You know?
Just has like a list of stuff happen.
What if it's even
Something
worse?
really went
or it's just like celebrity gossip or
Or,
something. You know?
or it's literally everything that will ever happen, so it's just so much.
But
Yeah.
what if it's all uncategorized and nothing's in any form of order?
Maybe it's
So it takes
all
a year.
written. Maybe it's all written on top of screaming mandragoras. So reading it is
possible.
actually it gives you a splitting migraines.
Maybe you have to convince the basilisk to help you find the book that you're looking
And he
looking
looks
for.
at the book and it turns to stone and you can't
Yeah,
read it.
exactly.
So,
Yeah. You know,
maybe, oh, I really want the basilisk to be the librarian.
you're looking for
With like glasses and
you're looking for a guide to the Underdark, and you have to go all the way back, and it's somehow surrounded by books that start with H, and it's just confusing. But nothing's ordered.
it's just a huge pile of books.
Yeah, just shelves with shelves of books that were just put in the most convenient place.
The party's plan seems to be wait until the morning, or the evening, next day anyway,
Yeah.
and just talk to Dulak after the meeting with the Drow, and
Go to the
Cool.
library, to the
That
teleportation
seems to be
circle.
the case.
Go to the library and realize that it's all a trap and we die instantly. And
Yep.
This is great.
It's a teleportation into the mouth of a purple worm.
Yeah.
You know,
A huge big
Again, if they betray us and we survive,
Yeah, we're
that's the
fine.
thing. You
That's
know,
if we survive, man.
like
they want to betray us. They really make sure.
yeah, that's the thing. They better fucking kill us if they betray us, because if not, the abyss that's opening down here will seem like a fine family vacation with wholesome fun compared to what we will do to them.
If we survive, then Tiamat will come down and attack.
Yeah, exactly.
In the form of us coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, you know, hell has no fury, like the party scorned. So
Like a Liam scorned.
The whole point.
And then he took your money.
Yeah, that's
Got
Then
paid.
we will hunt him to the end of the universe to get our
I've
revenge.
been there.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, I do. I remember everything. Nothing
Well.
forgiven.
You sound so tortured.
I remember everything. All of these slides.
I feel
That's
like
it though. It's late. I think we should end this session here. Next time we will go and see what this drow meeting is, and then we'll ignore it and go to the library.
Wonderful.
Probably. I mean,
Let's go.
and I feel like we're not gonna
Finally,
get.
let's go to the library. I'm gonna be,
been a while.
finally. Gesh has been sad for a long time now, and finally we're gonna get to his library. It's gonna be
there's one thing they always say: always find the easiest way to bypass any obstacle. That's always how the easiest way is the best.
Leads to the greatest of dangers. Yes.
I mean, out of character,
Fuck the journey. It's all about the destination.
out of character, trying to bypass challenges usually is as difficult as the challenge itself. But in character, I don't see any reason to justify, yes, I want to take a multiple year journey to find myself.
the only reason. The only reason I would, in character, caution off using this teleportation is that we know that teleportation down here is wanky, and will potentially fling us gods know where.
And
Hey,
it's
man.
a teleportation circle. That's more stable,
No,
right?
it's not. No, it's like
Perhaps
fixed.
it
like,
is permanently fixed, but I mean,
Yeah,
a
but
road is permanently fixed, and then like a flood comes and washes it away, right? So.
I mean,
it's-
right now, in real life, the road I go to get home, if I'm going out of town, literally goes around in a big old ring just to get around some works being done. And that could just be the purple mist, basically. Purple mist is just like, no, you gotta go all the way around that way. But you have to go down there and then up there and
It's a horrible place. Yeah.
through this construction yard, and good luck.
And
So,
you survived. Yay!
yeah.
Did it.
I really hope it works. If it doesn't, then a lot of the sessions leading up to now has been a horrible waste of our time.
Yeah.
I'm
Just trying to get to a
yeah.
place and then be like, actually,
Well, we got some information. That's
that's
yeah.
true.
I'm
There's
prepared
also
for
fair
death.
things.
That's
Maybe
so-
maybe we'll go and help the Elder Brain or something.
Oh, there we
This
go.
is-
Well, I'm presuming we don't get the
That's no
4,500
party
XP. Should be unfortunate.
I hope you've had a fun session, or at least engaging. Not sure fun most of the time, probably.
That was fun.
Well, at
Yeah.
least we overcame so many obstacles that surely we get a lot of experience.
I don't
All
think we did anything, really.
4,500 XP.
Get 1,000, which is 200 per character.
Oh, yeah. I'll add it because
I
might as well. And that means that we're 4,300 away. Maybe next session.
I called this session in my notes the 200 XP session.
If we hadn't started murdering everyone and gotten away with it, we would have gotten away with it.
It's almost like the game encourages a style of play that it almost doesn't want players to engage in. Like, it says that you should avoid combat, but then it really rewards it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe there's a design flaw that the game maker should consider.
So your DM commentary.
You know, give the characters incentive to not go around murdering
What
everybody.
if we just gave the characters giant swords and only rewarded them with the murder shit? And then we say, don't murder shit, guys, talk to them.
Yep.
Talk to them. You get more reward that way by not advancing your character.
Or, maybe when NPCs talk to them, make the NPCs be the worst assholes in the universe, so the players
You're justified
get
to kill them.
encouraged to kill them,
Maybe.
That helps too.
That really helps, let me tell you, that really helps.
And
I'll
like,
try to do. People's stabs you, just for the fuck.
Alright.
and if you do encounter an asshole, don't put it in a situation where you get instantly killed if you attempt to retaliate.
Hmm.
I mean, I intend to retaliate. I'm paying the Zentarum to beat up that guy for me.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
No, I'm talking about Duloc in this case. I don't care about that
Oh.
guy.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, on
Well,
that,
Look at his face, though.
He's been
Beautiful.
polite enough.
No, he really hasn't.
No, he really hasn't. That's...
On that note-
He was gloating to our face about killing a child and
But we
sending
need
glory
him.
to his death. I know.
on that note, I'm
We-
going to stop
Oh,
the
but we
recording and
don't.
the stream. So goodbye. Oh my god.
Listen, we'll